6 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and part of the crew, it's Fester and me. I don't know what it is, but today's a very heavy, celebrity, gossipy kind of day. Man, we're going to have to spend some time. You see, I don't know if this is true, but there are rumors swirling that Vanna White might quit the Wheel of Fortune after Pat Sajak's retirement.
Shocking.
Because she doesn't so-called jibe with Ryan Seacrest.
Yes.
Ugh.
How old is Vanna?
Vanna's got to be 60 and change, right?
I mean, you know, she's a little
Why don't you look that up?
I am. I'm pulling it up right now.
Why don't you Google that right now? How old is Vanna White?
I mean, is she younger than 70?
I think
Vanna White, 67.
I said 60, so Vanna's 67 years old. So we got Vanna White, reports that she's going to walk. I don't know who the heck knows. Sean Penn, we'll get into all these in more detail later on. But Sean Penn denies a rumor that's been around for a long time that he smacked Madonna with a baseball bat.
I've heard that rumor before.
Yeah,
I heard he was abusive.
So have I.
Yeah.
He kind of comes across as the type that would kind of lose his temper, and I don't know what happens, but I've heard that rumor. So he continues to deny that he never slammed Madonna with a baseball bat because, they were married for how long? A couple of years?
Why don't I look that up, too? I don't know.
Why don't you Google that? How long was Sean Penn and Madonna married? How about that? I would say, 2 years? I don't think it was long at all. All right, you got that one?
4 years.
4 years, 85 to 89. Wow.
And Madonna's older than Sean. Madonna's now 65. Sean is 63.
Yeah, she's got the retirement. Social Security retirement's at 67 now?
I mean, unless she didn't opt for early payout.
And then the Justin Timberlake pile, that grows and grows and grows. There's a whole bunch of new Justin Timberlake stuff after the DUI arrest. I'm sorry, the DWI arrest out on Long Island, out in Sag Harbor in the Hamptons. And, of course, big, huge national entertainment news emerging out of the Tampa. Do you hear that line? That was like, was a 3 shot. What was that?
3 shot.
Right before the 4th of July.
He got the timing down perfectly.
Oh, my God. This is like, it's a predictive rap song from Julio Folio. All right, I don't know what the heck's going on here. I've never heard of Julio Folio, but I've heard of Julio Folio now. We had huge news over the weekend as Julio Folio was shot dead. He's a rapper from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of crazy story that he was thrown out of an Airbnb and then had to go to some Holiday Inn over near USF, and somebody opened fire on him and others. But if you listen to this little clip here, Julio Folio, were you aware of Julio Folio prior, Fester?
You know what? I heard his name for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I think many people heard. Could be the best rapper name ever, by the way.
It's a great name. I wish I knew about this guy, and I'm a fan of his stuff. I heard about 4 or 5 of his songs yesterday.
Listen, as I listen to this is not bad as far as rap goes. Now, Julio Folio has joined Coolio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's listen for just a little bit. I want to kind of parse the lyrics here and just take a second here.
Like them boys block up like the 4th of July. They got caught lacking, the whole world want to know why.
All right, so before the 4th of July, here we are. We're before the 4th of July.
Went out to eat on his birthday. 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. Damn.
4 shot, 3 dead. I think in his case, it's, 4 shot, 1 dead.
1.
I think 3 survived. I gotta check the
4 shot, 1 dead, 3 injured.
Jeez,
that
man.
doesn't quite flow the same way.
All right, so we'll get into more Julio Folio, 26 years old, but the Tampa Bay area back in the news on a national level because of a rap shooting. And I want to explore, is this like an East Coast, West Coast, Florida battle? No, I mean, think about this.
We're West Side over here.
Well, because Julio Folio hailed from Jacksonville, that's East Coast. That's East Coast.
That is East Coast.
And then, of course, we're West Coast Florida. East Coast, West Coast, kind of reminiscent of the national East Coast, West Coast, and Biggie and Tupac and all that crap. Holy crap. And the dude's birthday was just on Friday. I mean, how freaky is we gotta parse this later on. And we need to open up the Julio Folio fan phones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just give his fans an outlet.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing that a lot of Q105 listeners, that are waiting to hear, I don't know, Jesse's Girl.
Yes.
Also would like to hear Julio Folio right after Jesse's Girl. I don't know about you. All right, just getting rolling. It's a busy Monday morning here on the MJ Morning Show. 6:06, traffic's on. Let's grab Pat with the latest. MJ Morning Show back in minutes. course, she's been in the news a lot. The concert tour canceled. She was supposed to make a stop here in Tampa. That was nixed. That was 86 gone. You know, they weren't selling enough tickets to fill a barn. That same deal repeated itself across the country, and the whole tour canceled. The whole Ben Affleck thing and whatever the hell's going on there, I don't know.
Just
anyway,
a rough couple of months for J-Lo.
Hey, so what are you looking at? You've got video of a pickup truck slamming into a Florida bakery. Was that intentional?
It looks like the guy and the owner of the bakery says he was trying to race for a spot.
Oh, jeez.
And he backed into the spot too aggressively and then just lost control and plowed into the bakery.
Okay, yeah, Fesser, and surveillance video just caught it all. Fesser was looking at the video while I was talking up the intro of the J-Lo song, and I'm like, what the heck? Is that a Ford?
It's a Dodge Ram.
It's a Dodge Ram?
Ram Tough.
Is that a 1500?
It's got the big Cummins engine.
Dodge Ram. Now, they don't call them Dodge anymore. It's just like Ram, right?
Yep.
They're just branded as Rams. Well, guess what? It was very fitting that this was not a Chevy Silverado or an F-Series Ford, because the Dodge Ram rammed right, oh my God, just smashed out the whole front window.
All it is those big glass panes up in the front. And the truck plowed right through it.
Hey, speaking of glass, this is sort of an MJ Morning Show public service announcement, because a company is recalling 580,000 glass coffee mugs. Why? Because when they're filled with hot liquid, they could just shatter and just fling all the hot liquid all over you, which is not what I'm looking for in a mug. Yeah, this is insane. This is a lot of freaking mugs. This is a big charge here that the company's going to take. Some 580,000 glass coffee mugs are being recalled all across the United States because the glasses have shattered on dozens of people and burned the bejesus out of them.
You know, a glass coffee mug really has one job.
Yeah.
Just one.
How do you make a glass coffee mug that shatters upon the introduction of a hot beverage?
You didn't test it at all?
That's what it was supposed to do.
You didn't put it in the microwave for a minute?
Nah. We,
Just to see what happens?
We just have these things cranked out by the glass blowing machines, and we just put them in boxes. We ship them off to, all the stores and test schmest. Who needs to test? Yeah, according to a notice that came out late last week from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, the recalled glasses are called the Joy Jolt.
Yo, there.
Well, I don't know about the joy, but there sure as hell is a jolt.
Very appropriately named mug.
What the hell? The Joy Jolt branded Declan, D-E-C-L-A-N, single wall glass coffee mugs can crack or break when filled with hot liquids. That is not good for a coffee mug, a glass mug. You fill it with hot water or some type of hot liquid, and the thing just shatters, dumping scorching water all over yourself. Let's see. The Consumer Product Safety Commission said there have been 103 incidents of the glass breaking at the base, resulting in 56 injuries that include 35 reports of burns across the body from spilled hot liquids. Also, 21 cuts. Oh, that would suck. You get burned, then cut.
Yeah. You impale yourself on your broken shard glass cup.
Yeah, these are 16-ounce coffee mugs, which were distributed by MM Products out of New York. They were sold online at the company's Joy Jolt website. Oh, Amazon also sold a ton of these things.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they were sold in sets of 6, $20 to $25.
I mean, nobody likes to have coffee poured on them by themselves.
Do you have the Joy Jolt Declan single wall coffee mugs that you bought in the last couple of years? It was a 6-pack. Hey, are you on the Joy Jolt site?
I am.
What else could Joy Jolt?
They have a bunch of different glasses.
They need with Joy Jolt, it seems like they next need a a mug that you fill with liquids and then it electrocutes you. You know,
I will say,
yeah, Joy Jolt. Yeah.
the mug is not on the bestsellers list. I mean, I'm on Joy Jolt's website, bestsellers.
Joy Jolt. You ever hear? I've never even heard of Joy Jolt.
They make a lot of products. It's a pretty extensive website, but
Man, that's a hell of a chargeback, man. Can you imagine? You got to recall. Well, you know what happens in a recall? It's only a fraction typically that hear about it, and only a fraction of them are returned or people are issued refunds because the bulk of the people, they never hear about a recall, and maybe they don't break, or even if they do break, somebody's not scorched and maimed.
You just kind of throw it away. You don't tell anybody.
You imagine you're maimed by your coffee mug. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your son of a
Make it stop. Joy Jolt, damn you.
Joy Jolt. Oh, man. Hey, this is interesting. And this is also got to be a big loser for wherever the company was that supplied these. Amazon. This is breaking packaging news because when it comes to packaging updates, we're the radio industry leader in packaging updates. And this is...
We were recently recognized by the American Packing Council.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So Amazon, and I've gotten these in the past, Amazon will pack, depending on like the items you have, they'll use those air pillows, the filled air pillows, the little thin plastic bags that are filled with cushiony air pockets. And I know there's a company called Sealed Air. I think they might be the biggest. Sealed Air is a company that provides like these rolls and strips of this plastic material, and then the companies that use their air pillows as cushions in packaging, and a lot of times with Amazon, they'll put like some tiny item in a box, and then they'll put like the air cushions in there. I posted recently, in fact, if you go to my Instagram, let me see how far down it is. I got a lot of Instagram stuff today. I shot a bunch of videos over the weekend, which we'll discuss later on. But I'm trying to find, here it is. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 15 rows down.
Oh, my God.
So on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio, 15 rows down. Look at this. Julian got an old SLR camera. A longtime family friend gave Julian an old 1980 SLR because Julian shoots digital. My son also has been getting into shooting old 35 millimeter film.
All right.
And family friend had a camera and gave Julian the camera. And we needed a photo cell, the old 6-volt little stubby lithium cell. So I went to Walmart. They didn't have it. I went to Target. They didn't have it. We don't have a B&H Photo nearby.
That's a good point. Yeah, we don't. You're right.
Kind of up on 9th and 33rd, about 1,200 miles away. So I went to Amazon and ordered the Duracell 28L 6-volt lithium photo cell for the old Canon camera. And it comes in this box that's like, 7 inches, 8 inches high. It's about a foot long. It's about, 10 inches wide. It's just, and inside the box is this little Duracell cardboard-backed, blister-packed battery. And the thing, you could fit, I would say, 100 of these batteries
easily
in the packaging in this box. And Amazon sends the freaking battery in all by itself, and it's just floating around. In this case, there was no air packaging. There were no pillows, the air cushions in there. It was just they threw the battery in the box, it's all rattling around, and you could have put 100 of these batteries in this box. I mean, not the best packing job. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that Amazon is going to discontinue the use of the plastic air pillows that they've used for packaging since the beginning, and they're going to go to recycled clumps of paper because of the environmental issue. And they say that paper also works better. Last week, Amazon said they already replaced 95% of the plastic air pillows with paper in North America. Well, we didn't get any. Maybe they shipped the battery during the transition and they had nothing to pack. Or they should have just put this damn battery in an envelope.
A much smaller package.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, an envelope.
So now we get a little tumbleweed piece of cardboard?
Well, I think it's going to be like the bunched up like paper, like the almost like brown grocery bag material. I've seen that as well. I mean, a lot of companies will use that for packaging. But I got whoever was supplying the air filled pillows.
That's a big account to lose.
Oh man.
This year's bonus isn't going to look too good, honey.
When you lose, I don't know whether it was Sealed Air or which other company was providing the machinery and then all of the rolls of plastic to then fill with air. Losing that account, man, from Amazon.
It's a big pill to swallow.
That's gotta suck. I'm guessing summer vacations canceled this year for the execs.
Hey, I know we talked about putting in a pool this year, honey. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, man. They're going to go more ballistic than Clark Griswold with the pool bonus deal.
This is my Christmas bonus.
Holy crap, that sucks. All right, I've got a great pile of early morons in the news on the way momentarily. Good. Listen, I'm not going to oversell this, folks. Really good morons in the news. Next, here on the MJ Morning Show, you better hurry. The clock is tick, 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 ticking. I saw Michelle over the weekend. I went out ran an errand. I come back and Michelle is watching My Cousin Vinny on some cable channel. You know what it's like when you just go through the channels and then some movies on, you just got to stop and watch it, even if it has commercials. I'm like that with Blues Brothers. If Blues Brothers pops on, or Goodfellas, it's got commercials, I can't help myself. Even though I've got the DVDs, without commercial, and sometimes they censor the language. Anyway, so I roll home, and Michelle's flipping through, and My Cousin Vinny. But the point is, it was the scene where she's like, and my biological clock is ticking away. And I'm just going to tell you right now that the 0% interest deal at IDC is... It is 6:40 at the MJ Morning Show. Some early morons in the news. Let's just dive right in. Fester, Indiana dad stabs his son to death. Fight over dirty dishes.
You know what? Some people, dirty dishes are a real trigger for them.
Yeah, also dirty laundry. You know,
Yeah.
kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down, kick them when they're up. You know, dirty laundry is also a big, very violent. So dirty laundry can get violent. And in this case, dirty dishes.
I mean, he's never going to do the dishes now that he's dead.
Indiana man stabbed his own son in the heart. This is why we call him morons in the news. Over dirty dishes that he left in the sink. Timothy Ray Lisby, 59 years old, also faces an initial charge of aggravated battery, but I guess that's going to be upgraded to murder.
How old was the son?
Son was 31. 31-year-old Christopher Allen Lisby. And clearly this is going to be upgraded to murder charges if it hasn't already. The case has been turned over to homicide detectives since the battery charge was filed. How do you, just out of curiosity, you stab your son in the heart? How is that just initially an aggravated battery charge? How is that not murder right off the bat?
We're going to go with aggravated battery to start.
The case has been turned over to homicide detectives. Jeremiah Green told the outlet that after bickering over a pile of dirty dishes, Lisby and his son wrestled each other to the floor inside their mobile home on Doggy Road.
I'm looking at the mobile home
in Indianapolis. Oh, that's a nice single wide they have there. That looks like a 1977 model.
You know what? It's a nice neighborhood for single wides in central Indiana.
Oh, yeah. You know, when I think of single wides in central Indiana, that's exactly what comes to mind right there. Man, this is insane. So they get into a fight. Tim had a spoon in his hand and started stabbing Chris with it. Chris said, Jeremiah, get the spoon out of his hand, so I did. So there's a third person there, obviously. The father then grabbed a hold of another weapon. Tim ran into the kitchen, grabbed something shiny, something sharp. Ooh, would that be called a knife?
I don't know, but it was shiny.
It was shiny. It was sharp.
Can't call it a knife, but
man,
it was
you
shiny.
Stab your own son in the heart over a dirty dish argument? The hell?
I mean, was it piling up to where it was, coming out of the dish?
Yeah. Anyway, moving along here. When you think of the bikini-clad baristas, what part of the country comes to mind?
Anything coffee related, I guess Seattle is.
Yeah. So the independent kind of small drive-through little booths in the middle of parking lots, that really kind of emerged out of the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Oregon, and you still, to this day, you drive through Oregon and Washington State, and they got these little coffee joints all over the places. And as a novelty some years ago, it's got to be, 15, 20 years ago, you had some of these places, in order to draw business and draw, men, they'd have these coffee makers, these baristas, in these little drive-through coffee joints and like shopping center parking lots. They'd have them wear skimpy little bikinis.
Like a strip club and a coffee stand kind of merge into one?
They're wearing skimpy bikinis. They're wearing, some places that have like pasties on. I guess I was going to say something. I'm going to refrain.
All right.
But listen to this. At one of these bikini-clad coffee joints, a Taste of Heaven Espresso in South Seattle, one of the baristas smashed a guy's windshield over the cost of a $22 coffee. And this was not Starbucks, folks. I mean, I can imagine, and I would assume there were probably some drinks you can get at Starbucks that probably hit $20 or whatever. Emma Lee, a barista, 23, was captured on surveillance video pulling out a hammer during the dispute.
I mean, if you go to the bikini coffee place, you're paying top dollar. Oh, here's a picture of Emily. She's a looker.
Oh, yeah.
Not really.
No, listen, she's a little attractive, but she's got this. Well, she's a little too tatted up for me.
She has this big medallion tattoo right in the middle of her chest.
Yeah,
good for her.
A little, but she's not a bad looking. Well,
she's.
Hold on a minute. Now I'm looking at a different photo. All right, maybe not quite my type.
Things didn't exactly work out for old Emma Lee to be serving coffee in a thong.
So Emma Lee gets into a fight with the customer over the $22 coffee, and she grabbed a hammer and started bashing the guy's leans out of the window at the drive-through coffee with her whole little, get up, her little bustier on or whatever she's got, and just starts smashing the guy's window with a hammer.
Hey, good for her for keeping like a weapon right there. I mean, how many creeps come up to the window?
Do you know what she said to the guy before she smashed the window?
Stop. Have a time.
Yeah.
Stop. Have a time.
There you go. Yeah. Lee, the barista, told a local news outlet in Seattle that she only did damage the customer's car after he exited the vehicle, approached the drive-through window, and threw the iced coffee at her. Yeah. Again, how the hell do you have a $22 coffee drink?
All right. Granted, it's probably a $3 drink or a $4 drink.
I don't understand how. I didn't hear anywhere in the story that there was like a multiple order where they had 3 or 4 drinks in a cup holder. She also alleged the man threatened her by saying, "Nobody is going to miss you."
All right.
What is that, like a serial killer line?
That's a pretty serious threat. Who was the Seattle killer? Was it the Green River killer?
I can't keep all my serial killers straight, but but the Green River something or other, that sounds pretty familiar. Yeah, it was a threat. She said, screamed and spit trying to pry open the window. Wow! So the guy was screaming and spitting, tried to pry open her drive-through barista South Seattle coffee window, and Lee told local news, Fox 13 up in Seattle, that the customer ordered a 32-ounce coffee and a 24-ounce water. What?
Okay.
And it was $22? I can't grasp a coffee and a water being. I guess inflation is really, really rough, especially up in the Pacific Northwest. She said the man was a repeat customer at the business and had previously complained about the high price of his order.
Don't go back.
Yeah, exactly. No one is forcing you to come here, she allegedly told the guy.
She's right.
And then there's video of her just smashing the guy's windshield with a hammer.
Emily is the hero of this story.
I don't think she's the hero.
Sure she is. She was the victim at first, and then she turned the tables on this creep.
I don't think she's a hero. Anyway, moving along, let's move to St. Louis County in Missouri. A guy there has been charged with having sex with a train seat on the local commuter train. Yep.
Before I cast any judgment, I need to see a picture of the train seat.
Oh, man, that's a hot seat.
That's a good look.
Oh, my God, that is one good-looking train seat. Yeah, how could you hold yourself back from having sex with a train seat on the Metro Link that looks that good? That is a smoking hot seat, man.
I just got to see the seat.
Yeah, look at the body on that seat. Oh, yeah. A dude, this is insane. Guy was released from jail for sex offenses, and then a week later, he's having sex with the seat on the Metrolink commuter train. Yeah. St. Louis County prosecutors late last week charged 38-year-old D'Angelo Antoine Covington with first-degree sexual misconduct, Class A misdemeanor, currently confined to the county jail. He's got a $20,000 cash-only bond. According to a St. Louis County Police probable cause statement, a Metrolink driver parked the train on June 7th at the Lambert Airport Station. That's the big airport in St. Louis.
Yes.
Stepped off for a few minutes. When he returned, Covington was on the train allegedly engaging in sex with the train seat with his genitals exposed. What the hell?
I have to see the seat.
Oh, you gotta see a picture of the seat. What the? Anyway, that's why we call it Morons in the News, folks. Yep. Hey, I'm very happy to say that our friends over at the Morgan Import Motor Group, Audi Tampa, Porsche Tampa, and Maserati Tampa, they were unaffected by this huge auto dealership software hack. don't know how this happened, but apparently the bulk of my walking exercise is done at the right time. Yeah, welcome back, folks. It's 7 o'clock, MJ Morning Show here on Q105. This week it's Fester and me. Yeah, Froggy's out on vacation. I got Roxanne. She landed in Italy, I think.
I haven't heard otherwise.
Yeah, we have not heard boo out of her. I wonder if her Vicodins worked. I'm sorry, Xanax. Yeah, Xanax.
Just to help with the plane.
Yeah. So Roxanne did a teledoc appointment. She disappeared from the show. Was it last Wednesday?
I think it was like the day before her flight, like Thursday.
Nah, I don't know.
We talked about it Wednesday. She made the teledoc appointment Thursday morning. She picked it up in the afternoon, and she took off Friday.
Where do you find a teledoc that's just going to prescribe you a scheduled drug like Xanax? I mean, don't you have a regular doctor that can, write you the script? So Roxanne did some teledoc appointment. She walks out during the show. What was it, like 8:30 or 8:35? Walks out for 5 or 7 minutes to do a Zoom teledoc meeting with some, it's like some pill mill doc or something.
No, teledoc is a legitimate operation that has doctors across the country.
I know. Is it called teledoc?
Yes.
Oh,
it's a service that we get as our insurance.
I thought that was just like generic. I thought it was just like
You've never used teledoc?
No, I've never used telemedicine.
Yes.
I guess that's the generic term.
Teledoc is one of the biggest ones in the industry.
I thought that teledoc was also just like a generic kind of thing, but that's an actual name of a company.
It's one of the benefits we have in our package is that we have teledoc service. If you need something prescribed to you.
That's part of our health plan?
Yes. If you need something prescribed right away. If you need something, let's say I needed a medicine Saturday night.
Right.
And my doctors, I can't access my folks that I use normally.
I need some oxys.
Boy, his back pain's really getting to me, Doc.
My pill mill up on US 19 in Hudson shut down.
Shut her down.
That was shut down. I think it was a Pambondi thing way back, and the whole pill shopping deal. Man,
I'm gonna need the big bottle.
I used to take the bus over from Fort Pierce.
So
I
used to wait at 6 a.m. I'd be in line. Listen, but if you needed legitimate medicine or cold medicine or something, or if you have an ache or a pain or something.
So we have teledoc. See, again, that's an actual brand name. I thought it was just a generic thing that you just make an appointment with your doctor on Zoom. So with our health insurance, which really sucks here.
It's really
we do have teledoc?
I think so, yeah. So it says, I've used it before.
For what?
You don't want to know.
No, I do want to know.
All right, so one time I got really aggressive when I was cutting an ingrown toenail.
Oh,
and I think I gave myself a toe infection.
Oh, you get some doxycycline or something?
Yeah, my wife looks at it, she goes, you got to call somebody.
Becoming gangrene?
It was like a Friday.
Gangrene?
Gangrene?
Gangrene? I can't say, I don't know.
Anyway, it was Friday night, and my wife's like, it was a holiday weekend. She's like, you're going to need to call somebody. I'm like, who? My doctor's office is closed. We call teledoc.
Hello, teledoc.
It's a real doctor.
Yep, hello, teledoc. Can I help you, teledoc here?
Teledoc usually gets back to you within, an hour.
Right.
And I had to send the guy a picture of my ugly toe.
Was the guy in India, though?
No.
Right.
I think he's in this. I think he has to be in the state of Florida to prescribe in the state. So
okay.
One of the questions is, what state are you in?
Gotcha.
And he called. He goes, what's going on? I go, hey, I cut my toenail.
Did he have you hold your toe up to the screen?
When you make...
Let me see this thing.
When you make an appointment...
Oh, that's close to amputation.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you make an appointment, you can upload photos. So I uploaded a couple of photos. I could have FaceTimed with the doctor, and he could have seen it, but it was just a phone call. He saw the photos, and he gave me, I think, exactly what you said,
doxycycline or something. That's a pretty strong antibiotic.
Like, take this for 5 days, and it'll go away.
Yeah.
And it did.
Fantastic. So Roxanne used teledoc. It's like telepsychic. Hello, telepsychic.
MJ,
teledoc.
Here's the thing about Roxanne calling teledoc out of the blue and just Roxanne's mannerisms.
Are you able just to call teledoc and say, listen, I'm flying to Italy. I have anxiety or I want to sleep. So Xanax is for anxiety. But I thought she was talking about having something to knock her out. Well, then you would take like an Ambien or something, or take a sleeping pill.
She wanted something to take the nerves and the anxiety down, not to be totally zonked out.
I didn't know she was an anxious flyer. She flies all the time. When did she suddenly become an anxious flyer?
I think when she got the coach seat second to the last row of this Italian airline flight next to the bathroom. sitting middle seat the whole way from
Yeah.
Miami to Rome.
She was on an Airbus 330-900 model, and they were in the second to last row, all the way in the back of coach in the middle section.
That's the anxiety.
Yeah.
But picture Roxanne calling out of the blue. Just the way she speaks. Hey, how are you, doctor? Listen, I'm flying to Italy and I'm freaking out.
Yes.
I need some drugs.
Anyway, where was I? I
we're
was
started.
I was talking about exercise. Yeah, I was about to talk about exercise. That this I think is just purely accidental, but it turns out I'm doing something right, or maybe I did know what the hell I was doing.
I doubt it.
So most nights I do my exercise, my 2 mile or 2+ mile jaunt, and I do it Monday through Friday. I will do a 2 mile walk at least in the hood with now my weighted vest. I've got a 20-pound weighted vest that I'm wearing. You know, I'm getting used to that. I'm going to have to add more plates. So I think I'm going to go up to 30.
Whoa.
And then maybe, up to 40 pounds at some point. But the 20 pounds, man, it's easy. The 20 pounds, I don't even blink. The 20 pounds, when I first put it on, it wasn't like precluding me from, I was like, oh my God, I can't walk. I got a 20-pound weighted, but I felt it. And now that I've been doing the 20-pound weighted vest for a month, I'm acclimated. And I need to go up. So I've got to get another, I'm going to go to 30 pounds. They sell, I think, another like 11 pounds. I think it's like 5.75 or 5.5. So I'm going to put those plates in, the front and the back, and I'm going to be up to 30, a little over 30 pounds. So that's my next step. But the point I'm trying to make here is this just purely coincidental? Is just beginner's luck, or did I kind of subconsciously know what I was doing here? Or was it like an inner voice that said, what are you giving me a look for?
I just want to hear what your inner voice has to tell you.
MJ, exercise at 6 p.m. 6 p.m., MJ.
Yeah, there's research out, and if you want to know the best time to exercise for fat loss.
Oh.
Yeah, research shows that it's 6 p.m. Researchers found that those individuals that worked out at 6 p.m., either by running, cycling, or other activity, that it lowered blood sugar more than those who exercised in the morning. And they suggested that the late exercisers both had a more active metabolism and were better able to resist hunger pangs.
Huh.
And this meant that they would both burn more calories during the day and consume less energy. They found that those that worked out at 6 p.m. had a better result, including more fat burn. And 6 o'clock is generally the time that I do my weekdays. Now, on the weekends, I do 5 miles.
Whoa.
So during the week, it's 2 to 2.5. And then weekends, Saturday and Sunday, I do 5 miles. So I did, Saturday. Saturday I did, right. I did like 11 a.m., just right in the middle of among the hottest part of the day. But man, I sweated I was drenched.
Did you stay hydrated? Did you bring a drink with you?
No, you know what? I don't bring water with me.
For 5 miles, you don't bring a little water bottle?
I don't. Because I don't find myself at all getting thirsty. I know I'm supposed to hydrate, but I just hydrate when I get home. I'm hydrated before I leave.
You could borrow somebody's hose or something if you feel dizzy.
Oh, God.
Sir, can I just suck your faucet?
Dude, hose water, that flavor, that taste, that rubbery, hose water is the worst.
Life and death, you have to suck the hose.
Listen, I'm not having any issues. I drank before I left the house, and when I get home, I hydrate. I don't bring the water with me, But hey, if I carry a gallon of water's 8 pounds a gallon.
That's right.
I have another 8 pounds with me. Now, but on Saturday I did a 5 mile. And then yesterday morning, about 9 a.m., I did another 5 miler. So, but during the week I'm doing 6 p.m., which apparently I'm right on track here. Fester.
Yes.
sent me a note.
Yes.
Fester is remarkably concerned with the customer service of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. This
I'm not concerned is the wrong word. Impressed.
No. I what did I say?
You said concerned.
Did I say concerned?
Yes. Fester is remarkably concerned.
No. Wrong word.
Wrong word.
No. Fester is remarkably. That was another C word I was looking for. Whatever. But
I'm impressed with the Hillsborough County.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
trying to
yeah,
give him
yeah,
a compliment.
Yeah. Fester. Yeah, wrong word. Fester is impressed. Why did I say concerned? I was trying to say impressed. It's not even a C word. Fester is remarkably impressed with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office 911 customer service. I had no idea they did this. 911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, well, there's a...
Can you, it's you, just speak
Okay.
normally. Don't do it.
I talked like that during the call.
Yeah, don't do a voice.
So I called 911 on Saturday night.
Right.
We got hit with a very strong cell of storms in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was everywhere.
We had rain as well, but I did notice on my radar app, my radar scope app, I noticed that the heavier, real chunks of stuff were like, Lutz, Carrollwood, and it was moving from east to west. And I noticed that it was heavier north of South Tampa. All right, so you have the storm cells roll through.
I drive by a half-downed power pole. Look at that picture. It's
It's snapped in half.
And I've seen...
Where was that? What road?
This was on US 41.
Okay.
And I'm looking, I'm like, holy crap, that could fall any second.
Right.
And then the wires aren't on the ground, but they're bowing lower.
But the wires, if the pole snaps, it could take the wires down on top of a car, and that could be an electrocution hazard.
So,
yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow, I should tell somebody. And I think I was the first person on the scene. I saw the lightning bolt.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a down power line on US 41 in Lutz.
Where was it? What's the cross street? Like near where?
Near Lake Magdalene Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you called 911.
Called 911, and I tell them.
Did they say 911? What's your emergency, or 911 police, fire, rescue? What?
Okay, so
I don't even know how they answer.
I called 911 on my phone,
right,
and I couldn't hear on my phone because the rain was coming in so loud.
Oh man,
because it was beating down hard because the car is making a lot of noise. So I put it on speaker, and I still couldn't hear it. So I put it on car, so it plays through my car system because the 2010 Cadillac has that feature.
What you don't?
The Bluetooth.
Hold on. Your 2010 Cadillac has Bluetooth?
Yes.
Really?
In 2010, that was a millionaire's car. It has all the cool 2010 technology. So it picks up. So it took.
Now it's a buy here, pay here special.
I mean, it's like $3,000 on Facebook Marketplace.
That's a Bond Auto Sales special. All right, go ahead.
They got one. Listen. So it took a couple of seconds for the operator to talk with me because I'm switching how I'm communicating with him on the phone, so I could hear his voice intensifying. 911, what's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency? And then I finally get through. We connect. And he's like, 911, what's your emergency? I was like, can you hear me? I said, yes. I told him about the down power line, and I report it. And he gets my name, my first name, and my number. And he goes, thank you. We'll send somebody out right away. I will say, yesterday morning, 2 brand new telephone poles. They yanked them and put new ones in no time.
Is that Tico or...
I don't know.
Well, who's your power company?
I'm a Tico guy, but with Tico, I guess they would replace it.
Yeah, of course.
So Tico is out there and replaced 2 power poles.
It's not going to be the U.S. Postal Service. Of course, Tico or a contractor for Tico is going to do it. But this is what's great. So you called 911 on Saturday night.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Sunday morning, I get a text from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office at, what time? At noon.
Right.
Noon. Thank you for calling Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Please share your confidential feedback. And it has a link for me to share my experience.
It's like
with
a customer. It's a customer service survey.
Yeah,
look at that.
I was very impressed.
It's like when you go get service at the auto dealership, you get the customer satisfaction survey, or at the end of this call, would you like to take a few moments to answer a couple of questions?
So my bigger question is, if I would have gotten shot 3 times and I called 911, would I have gotten the same customer? I mean,
no, it's very impressive. You called you have a customer service survey follow-up after you called 911. It's fantastic.
I thought it was great.
Look at that. Would you like to call Sheriff Cronster at home and personally thank him for it?
Nope. No, I want to stay off his radar. All things being equal, I respect the sheriff.
I think he'd love to hear from you.
He doesn't need to hear from me.
That you were pleasantly surprised with the
This is enough.
With the 911 customer service follow-up.
You tell him next time you guys hang out. I don't want to talk to him.
7:15 at the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. I want to strangle somebody. I got to figure out whether it's Verizon or whether it's Google. But I want to. It might be Verizon. I want to strangle somebody. There is something that I just noticed. Well, my wife noticed it first, and it is annoying the living bleep out of me. Again, I want to strangle somebody. I think at Verizon Wireless. I'll explain coming up. Also, I have an idea for a new feature I want to roll by you, and this will be very near and dear to your heart. And I think people would jump all over this and want to phone in. So I have a new concept I want to float. And then I want to strangle somebody at Verizon Wireless. Hang on. I'll explain next, and a whole lot more, because we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next here on Q105. Stand by. Go. Hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ starts right now. Also, I want to float another idea. You know what? Let me just float this now. I don't know if I should take calls on this now, but I want to float the concept and see if you like this. Also, I tease that I want to strangle somebody at Verizon. I think. Let me look at my phone again, and I think it's got to be Verizon. I don't think it's Google.
I mean, is it on the store level? I mean, the way you say it.
No.
You make it sound like you want to walk into their location at the West Shore Mall and strangle the person.
Well,
we don't want that.
Hang on. It involves Michelle to a certain extent because Michelle really discovered it and started using it. And I'm like, oh, my God. I want to smash my phone. Whoever came up with this idea, I'm serious, it needs to be run over by a truck. I'll explain. This will all be crystal clear in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show. Stand by. All right, first, though, my concept. Tell me if you like this. Where should MJ eat?
That's the concept?
The concept is, where should MJ eat? You know, because it's hit me on many occasions when people have recommended something to me. You know, we all get into our comfort zones when it comes to restaurants. Yeah. And we kind of stay in a certain grouping or a certain geography. And I'll give you an example. About 7-8 months ago, the owner of the place where I work out on Mondays and Thursdays, X-Force Body, which I've been doing for, a year and a half almost, with excellent results. I'm in the best shape I've been in a long time. And the owner of X-Force Body, her name is Ely. And she's like, you've got to try this place over in Indian Rocks. I'm like, well, I don't really,
It's out of my zone.
I'm in South Tampa. I don't really go. And she recommends this Italian spot called Villa Galace. And listen, I have my bunch of restaurants in the Italian genre. Cafe Paradiso in South Tampa. You got Donatello. You have Olivia. You've got Trattoria Pasquale. You've got Massimo's. That So we do travel because we've been going to Massimo's in Palm Harbor for 15 years. Love that place. But there's a certain kind of group of restaurants that you tend to hit.
Yeah.
And for us, there's just so much good stuff in South Tampa. We do venture to Massimo's in Palm Harbor. But the owner of the training facility where I go to, she's like, you got to try this Villa Galace over in Indian Rocks. And I'm like, okay. So Michelle and I actually ventured out, and we love the place. In fact, we took friends there. We were there on Saturday night. And I walk in, and there's this huge round center table with like 8 people. And as I walk in, they're like, MJ, hey, we're here because of you. I guess they heard about it, right? But here's the point. The point is that this was so out of my zone. Because we live in South Tampa, and they're like at Indian Rocks Beach for like 30 years, and they're like always packed. They're well known. The food is fantastic.
But if you don't head that way
exactly
frequently or often, even.
Do you know how many places there are? And I'm not talking only fancy restaurants or even mid. Do you know how many like small stands or how many like small like walk-in storefront operations? And I don't draw a line. I like all kinds of food. There is almost nothing that I don't like. So I was thinking that maybe I do a segment every once in a while, where should MJ eat? And have people call up and tell me about some absolutely phenomenal places. And especially, different type of ethnicities, whether it's Italian, whether it's Peruvian, whether it's Mexican, whether it's whatever it is, whatever the genre, whatever the type of food it is. Fessa, you're obviously a food consumer of major proportions.
Large quantities.
What do you think about the idea, the area is vast. We've got, 3 million people here now. There are so many places. And again, I'm talking about like specialty places that specialize in a certain type of cuisine. And I'm not talking about fancy sit-down,
Any kind of place.
white linen napkin places. I'm talking about just walking in to just a storefront in a shopping center, and enjoying. So what do you think of the concept? Where should MJ eat? Do you like it?
How many of these wheels can I weasel myself onto?
How many what?
How many of these meals?
How
many of these meals that you're
it
going
sounded
to
like you said wheels.
weasel myself
Okay,
into?
all right. How many?
I mean, if I could get myself into, a third of them.
Well, we have a couple places we need to hit because
I know.
Fester and I started doing the occasional pop-up MJ. Well,
Once. We did it once. We haven't occasionally done anything. We did it one time.
I had never been to Bricato's sandwich shop over off of 50th in Tampa, and I've known about it for decades. I just never went there. So Fester and I, about a month and change ago, we went for lunch there. And then also, we got to make it out to Beef and Sea.
We have a bunch of places to go.
Yeah, so Fester wants to, like once a week, I'm thinking we do Fester lunch, and maybe we casually mention where we're going.
Maybe.
Yeah. I just don't want it to be like a hit job like with Julio Fulio or something.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a Paul Castellano outside of Sparks or something like that. I don't want, no. All right, so what do you think of the concept?
I like it a lot. But here's the deal, MJ. If you took calls and had 100 different callers, you would get 100 different restaurants. I mean, everybody has their favorite place, especially if you include the entire greater Tampa Bay area. People are going to be calling all the way from Winter Haven to Inverness. We're going to be getting 100 different restaurants. It's going to be a lot of real estate to cover. Are you ready to eat that much? Can you make the commitment to down a big old meal every Wednesday or Thursday with me? Because I'm down for it.
Dude, I'm not saying that I'm going with you every.
Oh no.
With the
Nobody wants to see you go with Michelle.
With the recommendations, I'm talking about most of them will be Michelle and I.
No,
and,
I hate this idea.
But also, Michelle is not quite as adventurous when it comes to food. So, on some of the list of recommendations, I would have to be very selective on where Michelle would go because Michelle's very picky on types of food.
Here's the line.
Like Michelle lived in Japan. Michelle's dad was in the U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fi, for 28 years. And among that time frame, Michelle and the whole family lived in Yokosuka in Japan, a little south of Tokyo, where the 7th Fleet is based at the Yokosuka Naval Base, Japanese Navy on one side, the U.S. Navy on the other side of the water, in this area. And Michelle lived there for 5 years. She was from 10 years old to 15.
5 years.
5 years Michelle lived there. And the point I'm trying to make is she's in Japan and wouldn't touch sushi. Still does not want sushi. Michelle does not eat fish. Do you know the only fish I can get Michelle to eat? The only freaking fish I can get Michelle to eat
Long John Silver
is Hawaiian Ono. So we get to Hawaii like once a decade, and the only fish that Michelle will eat is Ono in Hawaii. That's it.
And she says, "Oh no" to the rest of the fish.
But do you like the idea? Do you like going to phones occasionally? Maybe once every couple of weeks.
I think it's great.
I go to the phones. Where should MJ eat?
Here's what it does.
Now I'm looking. Well, it helps local businesses.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, even if you don't make it out there, just the fact that somebody brings it up, and if I know it's in my community, I may be inclined to check it out. It's going to help small businesses.
But I love ethnic foods. There's not much that I don't like, or I'll certainly try. You know what I'll do? You know what the heck? We're yakking about it. Let's do a little sample. Let's do a little test right now. Where should MJ eat?
We're going to need a better intro.
I don't have any. I don't have any. I just thought of this.
I don't think we have a budget for one.
I don't.
So I mean,
I don't have any produced intro. But let me ask right now. We'll take a couple of phone calls. Do you have any amazing suggestions for restaurants that I probably don't know about? Because there are tons of them. I was in Tampa Bay for 30 years until I found out about Villa Galace over in Indian Rocks Beach. So that proves the point. So there has to be hundreds of places that, really do a really good job, and I'm going to like it. And again, it could be a $5 sandwich or some kind of, $9, fast kind of walk in, walk out.
Yeah, from like a lunch counter type place
exactly.
to a sit down fine dining
I'll
place.
tell you what, just going to float the boat here. It's going to do a little test. Let's just dip my toe in the water on where should MJ eat.
It's going to be some deep water. You watch.
Do you have any gems of places that the food is just incredible? And it could be like when you go to Google, you have the $1 sign for cheap, $2 signs, up to like the $4 signs, meaning very expensive. So it could be from cheap to mid-range to expensive. Where should MJ eat?
I don't want to hear a bunch of hoity-toity places like, yes, sir, yes, your tables. I don't want to hear about those places. I want to hear about the dives.
What places? Yeah, listen, and again, yes, dives. If there are some awesome dives, some dives have the best food around. Where should MJ eat? Going to dip my toe in the water right now and just take a couple of phone calls, and let's just see if this concept even floats. Let's just see if this gets off the ground and take a couple of test case calls here. All right, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Then I want to strangle somebody, I think, at Verizon. I want to make sure that my aggression is actually targeted properly.
Okay.
But I think it might be Verizon, and I totally want to run someone over. I'll explain. One of the most annoying things in the history of my life has just occurred, and I think it's my cell company to blame. I'll explain in just a moment. Also, I got a couple of interesting things from my social media. We'll get to that coming up. We got a massive pile because we do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, which we started a few minutes ago. Remember, every single morning at around 7:24 to 7:28, somewhere in that vicinity, we start an hour and 20 minutes nonstop MJ. No music, no commercials for an hour and 20 minutes. Every line is jammed. So I guess somebody's curiosity is piqued here. Someone's interested. Let me grab Tim in Tampa. Tim, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Where should MJ eat?
So the service is a little slow, but it's the best German food in Florida down in Sun City Center. It's called Old Castle, right next to the Home Depot in that shopping center. Amazing food, amazing beer, great schnitzel.
Yeah, I love schnitzel. I don't think it's because that's close to my real last name.
What a shocker.
But no, I love a good schnitzel.
So Old Castle in Sun City?
Yeah, look at that. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate the call. Let me grab Andy in St. Pete. Andy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Yeah, Simply Delicious. You get a great amount of food. It's Cuban food. It's in St. Pete. I think you should go, but I think you should change the name to Where Should Fester Eat and sometimes take MJ.
Not a bad idea.
Hold on. What's the name of it?
What's your place called?
Simply Delicious. It's on 9th Avenue in St. Petersburg. It's been there forever. You get a ton of meat. It's incredible.
Simply Delicious. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the call. Look at this. Phones have just blown up.
All right, we got a German place, a Cuban place.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a list here.
This is exactly what I'm looking for. Bill in Spring Hill. Bill, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ.
Yeah.
How are you? I got two places for you. One's close to you, Alessi's Bakery.
Oh yeah,
Greatest bakery in the world.
Yeah, Alessi, been there many times, of course. And
yes, and Texas de Brazil.
Texas de Brazil have been there as well, and that's on Boy Scout right across from International Plaza. Yep.
Excellent.
Been to both. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day.
Tell you what I miss when it comes to Brazilian steakhouses. I miss Boy Zau. Boy Zau is where that now defunct, totally empty and doing what the dill pickle thing is. Right again, right across Motion Prime, right across from International. That place has been empty.
That's got to be some of the priciest real estate in town, just sitting there.
I loved Boy Zau, and there's also that gaucho. There's one on Southdale Mabry, just south of Henderson, that is Brazilian. That's supposed to be very good as well. Thanks for the call. See, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Chris and Sefner. Chris, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Are you going to tell me Kojak's House of Ribs?
Oh, how'd you know?
Just Sefner, Chris, hey, Chris, I loved Kojak's when it was on Gandy in South Tampa. But Chris, it's on my list to get out to Kojak's with their new relocated location out in Sefner.
Right on. Same family, same pit smoker, same recipes.
Yeah, I promise. And listen, you sent us some gift cards as well, so we'll get out there, okay?
Oh, yes, sir. I've been trying to grease the wheels.
Don't, Chris. Trust me. Sefner's a little out of my way, but I will get out there, okay?
Usually I go to Sefner for my meth. Usually I get that out there.
All right, Chris, we'll see you soon.
You got to look behind the old Blockbuster for that.
Thank you, buddy. Twinkie. Twinkie's
right.
in Clearwater. Hey, Twinkie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi. Oh, my God. What the?
Twinkie hung up?
With a name like Twinkie, and Twinkie hung up? Come on, Twinkie.
I only want to know where
Guess
Twinkie
what?
goes to eat.
It was probably going to be the hostess aisle at Publix. Try some Twinkies.
I'll go
It's
there.
probably what it was. All right, that just opened up a line. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. What local gems do I have no idea about?
Now, these places have to be kind of like in the greater Tampa Bay area, right? The Q105 listening area, right?
I don't think I'm looking for a Lake Wales spot, you know?
That might be pushing it.
But again, I pass through occasionally.
Yeah,
All right, so that opened up a line. 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Pablo in Newport Richie. Pablo, MJ Morning Show. Where should MJ eat?
MJ, if you're like me and you're willing to try different foods,
Yep.
all the Dominicans in Tampa know this spot. It's called El Criollo, El Típico Criollo. It's like the go-to for Dominican cultural food, great price. They fill your plate. I mean, it's an awesome spot. It's where I go to whenever I want to get my Dominican cultural.
All right, so first of all, say the name slowly.
Okay, El Típico. I'm saying with an English accent.
Yeah.
L-E-L.
Yep.
Típico. T-I-P-I-C-I-O.
Yep.
Criollo. C-R-O-I-O-L-L-O. Criollo.
Okay. All right.
It's a great spot. I mean, it's Dominican food. They fill your plate. It's awesome. I go there for my Dominicanness.
All right. I love it. Thank you. It's on. I added it to the list. Thank you, Pobs. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. RJ in West Palm. RJ, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Where should MJ eat?
I know the Tampa Bay area, MJ.
Yep.
I've been living there in it now for the last 30 years.
All right. Where should I eat?
There's an Italian, a New York-style pizza on Tampa Road in McMullen, Tampa Road in Lake St. George. Gino's New York style.
All right. Gino's New York style.
It goes toe-to-toe with Sardo's, and it beats the hell out of the New York style at Nona Slice House. I know you don't eat the New York style. You go for the more expensive. But
No.
MJ's a straight cheese guy.
First of all, I think Nona is phenomenal. It's
their
tough.
New York style slice.
Yeah, well, hold no, hold on. No,
Sardo's.
I'm telling you right now. You get the if you get the New York style, you get the house slice. You order a slice in New York, and I think it's fantastic. And listen,
I grew up in New York too. I've been to all the places in New York.
I'm tough on New York, so I like Nona's New York. His Detroit at Nona Slice House is unbelievable. You close your eyes, you think you're in Detroit. They knock that out of the park. And then the Old World is more that old. I get the margarita old. So Nona has three different slices, three different styles of pizza. So I'll tell you what, Gino's New York style.
New York style. They used to have a bigger place on 580 in McMullen.
Yeah, in that little strip center there, right?
Yes, it's the same people.
Yeah, I know. I
went to that. I've been there. I've been to that old location.
I think I might have been there like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Man, look at the phones. I was wondering if this thing would fly. Every single line is jammed. Let me grab Jennifer in Dover. Jennifer, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi.
Hey, MJ. So this isn't an ethnic restaurant, but it's a Riverside Express Seafood in Lakeland. I have mourned the loss of hush puppies in general. And this place has the best hush puppies, but also just amazing seafood with amazing prices, mostly takeout. My husband and I went there and sat and ate. But just the volume of business that they do, and they're so friendly.
Riverside Express Seafood in Lakeland. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, another recommendation. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have a great one. Adriana is in Valrico. Adriana, MJ Morning Show. Where should MJ eat? Andrew, no more calls. Let me just finish up these calls. It's out. The response is nuts. And maybe I'll do this every couple of weeks. Just take phone calls on places that I just don't know about or I haven't been.
I'm learning about a lot of places just listening to this.
That's the point.
I know.
Adriana, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning. There's a little restaurant in Ybor City. It's called La Terrazza. It's a little Italian restaurant, maybe 12 tables. Best Italian food in Tampa.
How do you spell it? La Terrazza, L-A?
Terrazza. It's L-A.
Yep.
T-E-R-E-Z
Yep.
like zebra, Z-A.
Oh, Terrazza. La Terrazza.
Yep.
Like the terrace or something? Or
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. See, this is what I'm looking for. Appreciate it. Pete, Peter, Bill, and Jeff. And then and every minute someone hangs up, the phone's ringing again. Man, this could be a hit. Where should MJ eat?
We got a Pete and a Peter?
Yeah, we have Peter first and Sefner. Peter, you're on the Hello, Peter.
How's it going?
Peter. All right. Go ahead, Peter.
Go ahead, start again.
The guy who called about Geno's, I grew up on that. I'm 43 now, and as a kid we went there, me and my mom. So great New York place to go to. But I'm out in Brandon area now, with Hefner, and I found a place called Stein and Vine. Unbelievable bar food, 2-hour waiting list every night.
Hold on. Stein and Vine?
Stein and Vine, I mean, it's chef quality food. They do duck sandwiches. They do the menu changes.
And they're in Brandon? Where in Brandon is Stein and Vine? Is that a play on like a beer stein and then Vine for wine?
Yes.
Okay.
So they have a beer list forever. I mean, it's 30 different.
Where is Stein and Vine located? Where is it located?
It's off of it's past Lumsden. I can't remember the road. You go down Parsons and it turns into a different.
Listen, Stein and Vine out near Brandon. I'll find it. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate the call.
We'll have to Google it.
Let me grab Pete in St. Pete. Hello, Pete. MJ Morning Show. You're up. Where should MJ eat?
Hey, you should. There's 2 locations of it. It's called Daily News. One location is on Fort Harrison in Clearwater, and then Bel Air. That's a fancy one, and there's one on Belcher and Gulf to Bay. Right?
What does Daily News do?
It's okay. You got great Dalmatian wines. So basically, the food is based on former Yugoslavia, like Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia. It's got also food. And
Can I get the Slobodan Milosevic sandwich?
No, I don't think so. But you can get really good Dalmatian wine there.
All right, and wait a minute, and it's called Yugoslav, but it's called the Daily News.
Yes, it's called Daily News. There's a fancy restaurant on Fort Harrison and Bel Air, and there's a one not so fancy. It's on right next to the CVS on Bel Air and on Belcher and Gulf to Bay.
All right, thank you, Pete. I appreciate it.
Did you ask for the Slobodan Milosevic sandwich at a Yugoslavian restaurant?
Maybe
you know the wrong words to say.
Yeah, maybe I should have said that. Yeah, probably.
Wrong thing to ask for.
I'm gonna get stabbed over that one. 2 more. That's it, man. Every line is ringing again. Tell everyone thank you for calling in. Where should MJ eat? This is a hit. I'm telling you. Bill in Spring Hill. 2 more calls. Bill, you're up. Where should I eat?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Yeah, I frequent Tampa all the time, and there's a place on 19th Street called D&D Delights. They got broncados blown away. This is all a family-run business, all homemade.
All right, D&D Delights.
Empanadas.
Gotcha. And where are they located?
So on 19th Street, before you go over the 22nd Street
Causeway, yeah. Down by, I know exactly where it is. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. And listen, Bricado's does a great. I had a great time at Bricado's.
But there's a bunch of restaurants in that same family that has great food that we don't know about.
Down by the port, you go down. Yeah. All right, one last call, and then we got to move on. Man, this just took off like a rocket. And tell all the other callers, thank you. Will do. Where should MJ eat again? I don't know, a week or 2. That's kind of fresh still. Jeff in Lakeland. Jeff, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Where should MJ eat?
Gizzy's of Nutley Pizza.
What?
It's Gizzy, Gizzys.
Vizzies,
Gizzy's of Nutley, Nutley.
as in Nutley, New Jersey?
I don't know about that, but it's a food truck. And MJ, we went to Brew Hub on that.
All right, so hold on. So Vizzies of Nutley, it's pizza?
Gizzy's of Nutley Pizza.
All right, and where does the food truck hang out?
Well, we went to the Brew Hub and they were there, and I know they also go to Swan Brewing.
All right, so I guess you probably have to go to their website and find out what their schedule is. And what kind of pizza is it?
But I think they call it bar pizza.
Oh yeah, like it's like we love Colony Grill. Colony Grill has a thin bar pie, which we like a lot. All right, man, I got it. Thank you, man. I appreciate the call. Fester.
Oh my God, that's
Boom.
a ton of places.
Boom. But I mean, the phones wouldn't start. They're still ringing. Andrew's turning people away now. All right, how many calls was that?
I got 78 texts in that, to my personal cell phone. Tell MJ to try this place. Tell MJ to try here. Oh man.
All right.
Listen, and the last caller brought up a food truck. The food truck scene in this town is a totally different thing.
Yeah, and there are tons of food trucks that I have no idea about.
Right.
No idea. There's a food truck Mexican place in front of some one-off convenience store on Kennedy, a little bit east of Fox 13, in like a gas station. I don't even know that it's great. It's like a Mexican food truck in a convenience store parking lot.
Sounds like the best kind.
And it's fantastic. All right, let me call Michelle quickly on a couple of things here. I'm calling Michelle because it was Michelle that first introduced me to this. And I want to strangle somebody either at Verizon or Google. I don't know if this is a Google phone thing or if this is a Verizon thing. There you that's it.
What is that?
That's it.
That's the message? Is that Michelle, did you answer? You got a sound effect board?
I want to I want to strangle whoever put the there.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Michelle and I were on Verizon. We're on Verizon Wireless, and we both have Google Pixel 8 Pro phones. And recently, an audio emoji button popped up. So
it's like running your own morning show every phone call.
You know it.
Oh, Michelle, that's fantastic.
I love it.
When you pick up the phone and you call somebody, there's a little oval box, audio emoji, and you push that, and like 6 different sound effects come up.
And the toot is one of the sound effects? That's great.
It's a pile of poop. And then you push the pile of poop and it goes.
Does it give you a different one?
What the? Who came up with this? I don't need audio emoji. So I call Michelle for something serious. I'm out driving around. Hey Michelle, I'm stopping at Whole Foods, or I'm gonna stop at Fresh Market or something. You need anything? Or I'll say, hey, I just be careful. There are nails in the street in front of the house, and Michelle will hit that.
All right, so hold on. All right. I have an iPhone and I have Verizon service. How do I find this? Because I have to have this in my life.
All right, call my cell quickly.
All right,
just call my cell, and let me see if you call my cell. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Hang on. Just dude, call my cell.
I have you saved under MJ.
All right, call my cell.
Mobile. Okay, it's calling.
All right, Michelle, stop. All right, so Fester's incoming call. Dominic Siciliano, Fester.
You have me under my government?
Here we go. All right, say hi to my phone.
Hey, phone.
All right, so this is Fester. Now, do you have an audio emoji thing?
No, I have the iPhone.
So this must be Google. All right, so if I go ahead and I hit, look at this. If I go ahead and I hit audio emoji, look at this. Then it brings up, I'll hold this up to MJTV. All right. it brings up these audio emojis. So if I close it, let me just point this out. So right there, see, it says audio emoji. I'm doing this on MJTV, and it brings up these emojis. So I can go ahead and hit these. And then I push emoji again, like, here's the poop noise.
Oh, my God, it's amazing.
Michelle, when did you discover this? You started doing this to me, what, like 3 days ago? So I'm trying to have a conversation with my wife, and she keeps hitting these audio emojis on the phone. All right, Michelle, please stop.
That's hysterical.
Michelle, will you answer me, please? All right, stop. Will you talk to me? Talk to me.
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we watched another episode of The House of the Dragon last night. Season 2, episode 2 was last night.
All right.
Michelle, did this pop up like 3 days ago, or how long did you notice it?
No, that audio emoji button was there for a while, but I didn't know. Like, I figured what it was, but I was like, how would I even use that? And I didn't want to do it on a phone call. And you're pretty much the only person I talk to on the phone anyway, so I'm usually, like, done with you very quickly. But then the other day you were walking, I was like, hey, let me just check this out. And
yeah, I'm walking, and I'm calling Michelle for something, and everything I say to her, she's not answering me. She's hitting. Yeah, exactly.
I think that might be my favorite one.
By the way,
a good one.
By the way, Julian just texted me and said, "Dad, why would it be Verizon? It's Google.
Yeah.
Verizon makes no sense."
He's right. It's Google. It's the phone.
It's Google, not Verizon. It's only Google. Is that even a question? All right, so I'm sorry if
it is a dumb question. Yeah, he's right.
I'm sorry if I wanted to strangle somebody at Verizon. I guess I need to go to Mountain View, California, and strangle somebody at Google.
This is brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
it's brilliant. I know. I love it.
Oh, I hate it.
You know what? And Michelle, you can have a whole conversation, and I know exactly what you mean by sound effects.
Yes.
Yes.
I know, right?
Hey, were you embarrassed by me at Shake Shack yesterday?
Oh, gosh. When am I not embarrassed by you?
Yeah, I just wanted
extra special.
Just wanted
extra special.
I wanted a burger. Stop. Just speak to me. So I wanted a burger. Michelle agreed. I think we both craved the burger. So we went to Shake Shack at Midtown yesterday. And listen, Shake Shack is a nice burger. I like a Shake Shack. I don't like the Shake Shack at JFK Airport. Not good. But typically Shake Shacks are good.
That's LaGuardia.
What?
LaGuardia.
No, the Shake Shack at Kennedy. I know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Yeah, I was through Kennedy, and the Shake Shack in the Delta Airlines terminal is awful.
You guys can argue about your New York airport hamburger stands later.
So we go to Shake Shack. All right.
Thank you.
Stop it.
See, it's perfect.
Stop the freaking noises. All right. So we go to Shake Shack, and I brought my own lettuce. Go to my Instagram. Go to my Instagram.
Hold on.
I shot a video. It's already got like 9,000 views. It's ridiculous. I brought my own lettuce because, listen, I like the Shake Shack. What?
It's because you have a lettuce fetish.
I'm very, very picky about my lettuce.
It's not just that you're picky about it. It's that you like a lot.
Yeah, you're a lot of lettuce guy.
I do like a lot of lettuce.
Hey, Fester, you remember back in the day when we used to go to Sweet Tomatoes for dinner? We used to meet you guys there sometimes. How much lettuce would be on his plate? How much could he cram in his mouth at one time?
It'd be overflowing with lettuce, and then
Stop
he'd be jamming it in his face. It'd be like a whole head of lettuce coming out, slowly getting into his mouth.
It's like he saw word lettuce was going out of style. He couldn't get it in his mouth quick enough.
It's like there was a lettuce famine tomorrow.
What like George, the ocean's running out of shrimp kind of thing?
Yep.
George Costanza. All right. So we go to Shake Shack, and I'm just a little disappointed with the lettuce. A lot of times it's wilted. It's hot. It's all soggy.
Hamburger stand lettuce is a trick.
Yeah. So I had some great romaine in the crisper, and I washed it. I bagged it. I put it in a Ziploc bag, And then before we left, I put it in the freezer for a little bit, so it didn't get freezer burned or anything, but it was in the freezer for about, 12, 15 minutes. And it was just nice and chilled and crispy. And we went to Shake Shack. I ordered a double cheeseburger, and Michelle rolled video on me. We sat outside at Shake Shack about 5:15 yesterday at Midtown in Tampa, and I take the top bun off. I pull their little wilty, sad, soggy piece of lettuce off, and I started piling. I started piling on my crispy, cold lettuce, and it was fantastic. And Michelle rolled a video, so go ahead and refresh, and then unmute it. Go. Click it and then unmute it.
Why don't you tell everyone what you're doing?
Hi. I like a Shake Shack burger, but I want crispier lettuce, colder lettuce. So I brought my lettuce from home, all right? I brought some romaine from home. I'm going to pile it on. It's cold and crispy. And that's the way I want my Shake Shack burger.
You're such a freak.
You are a freak. What if you would have asked for extra lettuce on the side?
I've done that. And then
He always does. Whenever we go somewhere for a burger, he always asks for like a huge pile of lettuce on the side. And you know what? It doesn't matter how high that pile is, Fester. It's never enough.
What if you tell me
I'm
you'll pay
insatiable.
extra? But like the lettuce that you pulled off of the burger looks pretty sad because it's been sitting on a hot burger patty for 3 or 4 minutes. It's already wilted. Yep. But if you asked for, hey, I want a buttload of lettuce on the side, you don't have to bring your own rabbit food from home.
All right, if you want to...
Never enough, Fester. It's never enough.
But I like a certain type of lettuce. Anyway, some places do it right, some don't. So I'm bringing my own lettuce to Shake Shack from now on. All right, if you want to see the video and Michelle calling me a freak, it's on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. All right, Michelle, goodbye.
Bye.
Of course. All right, goodbye, Michelle.
Love it.
Bye.
One time, MJ,
what the hell?
I had a coupon. You know I love coupons.
Oh, stop saying coupon. It's coupon.
I had a coupon.
Don't say, I hate coupon. It's a coupon. Don't say coupon.
I had this certificate.
Yes.
For a free Whopper.
Yep.
Right? It was given to me by a manager of a Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to use it, and it was not for a Whopper with cheese. So I brought my own cheese, which I thought was the cheapest thing I've ever done in my whole life. But this is pretty bad, bringing your own lettuce. You coming up here with a whole... You're in line with is that a gallon size Ziploc bag?
It's a gallon freezer Ziploc, and I got a whole pile of romaine in there, and I'm just loading
You look like
up.
a psychopath ordering your sandwich, holding a bag of lettuce.
All right, go check out the video. Leave a comment if you want. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio if you want to take a look. Also, you know what? I gotta share that. Also, I'll put it on. Hang on, man. I'll put it on MJ Morning Show as well. So hold on, edit. Let me tag. Yeah, I did collaborate. Why didn't it invite collaborators?
Why don't you put it on the National Lettuce Council's Instagram page as well?
All right, so if you want to see the video of me bringing my own lettuce to Shake Shack, it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. All right, let me lightning around a bunch of stuff. Also, I want to call Don the IT guy on something. So hang on, we'll call Don the IT guy in a couple of minutes. So Don, if you're listening, hang on. Give me a second. I'm running just a few minutes late here.
Yeah, sorry, Don. You got bumped by lettuce.
Well, I got the Justin Timberlake situation, man. A lot of new stuff on Justin Timberlake's DWI, the driving while intoxicated charge out on Long Island in the Hamptons and Sag Harbor. So new stuff rolling out. Listen to this. This is a New York Post headline over the weekend. Dumbass Justin Timberlake ignored warning minutes before DWI bust from same cop who ended up arresting him, according to a source. It turns out pop star Justin Timberlake could have avoided all this Hamptons DWI drama had he only heeded the wise words of the young cop who later placed him in handcuffs. A local law enforcement source told the Post Timberlake, 43, was actually stopped twice on Tuesday morning in Sag Harbor on Long Island. The first time he received a warning not to continue on with his trip, he was stopped and advised not to drive.
So the officer gives warnings when he
The
thinks you're
officer
drunk?
didn't recognize him. He's a young guy, and he still gave Justin a break because he didn't pose an immediate danger. The now infamous officer has since been identified as Michael Arkinson, 23 years old. Arkinson thought that was the end of it, that this guy would get a ride home. But several minutes later, as Arkinson was patrolling a different side of the village, Timberlake was observed by the same officer driving his 2025 BMW SUV again and stopped, according to the source. What a dumbass, the source reflected. I'm thinking he could afford a driver. How's that for entitlement? Timberlake was stopped the second time after allegedly driving through a stop sign at a four-way intersection and then swerving his SUV into the left lane. So that's story number one. Listen to this one. Also, New York Post. They've got the best coverage on this. Listen to this headline from Saturday. Rookie Sag Harbor cop who arrested Justin Timberlake dubbed little red-headed dip by locals. That's the headline.
So they don't like this guy? Got a 23-year-old young man on the force, and they're giving him a hard time?
The rookie Sag Harbor cop who pulled over Justin Timberlake for alleged drunk driving is well known in the ritzy town, according to a report. Officer Michael Arkinson, who turns 24 this month, stopped the sexy back singer Tuesday morning after allegedly seeing him blow a stop sign and swerve into another lane. In just 3 months on the force. 3 months on the force!
He's already got a nickname amongst the locals?
Arkinson has earned the reputation among Sag Harbor's wealthy residents, earning nicknames like the Sag Harbor Nazi and Little Red-Headed Dip.
Yeah. If he were those things, he wouldn't have let Justin off with a warning.
And they say he got these names because of his strict enforcement of traffic laws. Despite Timberlake's global fame, Arkinson, who wasn't even born when Timberlake joined NSYNC in 1995, had no clue who he was dealing with. A writer from Shelter Island who identified himself as Spencer recounted an unpleasant experience with Arkinson while searching for a parking spot in Sag Harbor and making a U-turn. I was surprised he pulled me over. It was off-season. No one was around. It was a bleep head move.
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah, we get you.
I felt like he pulled me over just for the sake of doing it. Yeah, he received a warning. Pulled over for talking on his cell phone.
Yeah, New York's a hand-free state, right?
Well, yeah, you can't be talking on. You can't hold the cell phone and talk. Cell phone can't be in your hand while you're driving in New York.
So what's your take on this, MJ? A young cop, maybe a little overzealous.
3 months on the Sag Harbor, Long Island Police Department. Then we have, let's see, video emerges of Justin Timberlake looking all red-eyed during a concert last month. Timberlake's Vegas stop on the Forget Tomorrow World Tour. A clip, which was posted to social media, shows Justin Timberlake singing and dancing, but the camera's close enough to his face, and his eyes look bleary and red in color. That seems like a little bit of a stretch.
Everything is going to get overanalyzed now.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. But also, another item about the Sag Harbor residents were shocked that, and this is true, I totally agree with this, that a lot of locals in Sag Harbor were shocked that Justin Timberlake's friends let him walk out and get into his car. Where were Justin Timberlake's friends saying, dude, you're in no condition to drive? And then there is this. Justin Timberlake might have been ratted out. There's a report that somebody called the cops from the hotel to report that Justin Timberlake might be behind the wheel drunk. That is another post report. Somebody at the swanky Hamptons Hotel, where Justin Timberlake was downing cocktails before his DUI arrest, called cops because they were concerned that he would get behind the wheel of a car. They said Justin was having a lot of drinks, and they told the cop to watch him if he's going to drive. And the well-connected Southampton restaurateur, who did not want to be identified, told the New York Post yesterday on Sunday. The local businessman did not specify whether the caller was an employee or patron of Sag Harbor's American Hotel. But here's a claim that somebody ratted Justin Timberlake out.
All right.
That he's going to be leaving, potentially driving while intoxicated, DWI.
How does this officer let him off the first time if he's that drunk? I mean, I thought the days of getting free passes on DUIs are kind of over.
So, I mean, the story I did a couple stories ago seemed to indicate that he was pulled over.
He was stopped. The officer had an interaction with him, spoke to him.
Yeah, and then...
All right, I'm going to leave the scene now. You just get a ride home.
Told him to stop driving. Again, that's unsubstantiated. It's just a report that's out there. And then he did address the DWI bust. So his first concert...
At the Chicago shows?
Was at the Chicago United Center on Friday night. So that was his first show since the bust. And Justin Timberlake apologized, apparently, to his entire crew behind the scenes. But during the show, Justin Timberlake said it's been a tough week. So he did acknowledge this on Friday night. And then you have, finally here, before I move on, you have all this Justin Timberlake merch that's coming out. Everyone's grabbing his mugshot. They're putting his mugshot on T-shirts, his mugshot on mugs. It's a mugshot mug. Get it? Mugshot mug.
I'm a fan. I'd want one.
There are buttons and T-shirts. Here's one. Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. And it's a picture of Justin Timberlake's mugshot. Then there's a picture of Justin Timberlake against the wall with the 5 feet, 6 feet, the measurement thing behind the mugshot.
Why don't they have that anymore on mugshots?
Some places do it, not all.
All should.
I
miss that.
Timberlake's doesn't have it, I don't think, from Sag Harbor. But someone took a picture of Justin Timberlake and put him in front of the measurement chart in the back, and it reads, "I'm bringing Tipsy back." Really? So all these T-shirts, mugs, glasses. Hey, the image, the mugshot is in the public domain, so people can use it, and, well, they are using it. I got to call Don, the IT guy, in a second. First, though, we've talked about this on several occasions, and this is always, it's very rare, but it's certainly a possibility. What falls from airplanes that can be nasty?
Oh, man. So,
just say, what is it? What is it?
Is it the blue ice?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I've got a blue ice story from New Jersey.
Doesn't something have to be wrong for blue ice to accumulate?
Typically, there's a seal on the back of an airplane, I don't know, maybe it's multiple spots. But you have there are little doors that the ground crew, a lot of times it's the fueler. Also, they empty out the aircraft,
the potty area.
The potty tank.
Yeah.
So the lavatory collection tank has to be emptied on an airplane.
That's a much more official term than the potty tank.
You go to the lavatory at the front of the plane, the lavatory's at the back of the plane, whatever. That's going somewhere, right? It goes into a tank, and then it's emptied out. There's like a receptacle. There's a little door. And sometimes at altitude, if there's a seal problem, and as the plane is getting jostled, some of that, the blue ice or the blue water with the number 1 and the number 2, it'll leak out. And then at altitude, at minus 50 degrees, the stuff will freeze. It'll accumulate. The liquid will flow out because of a seal problem, and it'll accumulate. And sometimes you got a buildup of a bowling ball or larger size chunk of blue ice that's frozen at altitude, and then the thing snaps off, And where it falls, who the hell knows? Well, guess what? A family was nearly crushed. This is last week in New Jersey when blue ice crashed through the roof of their suburban New Jersey home. It's in Paterson, New Jersey. The Gomez family was sitting in their backyard. They were at a backyard table. They were 12 feet away from the impact zone. It went straight through their roof. Hey, Westfall Roofing, can you guys head up to Paterson, New Jersey and fix their roof?
It's a little more than a roofing issue.
I wonder if Westfall Roofing, which is a great new sponsor here on the MJ Morning Show, for any roofing needs, leaks, or you need a new roof, you want to call Westfall Roofing. WestfallRoofing.com and tell them that MJ sent you. But I wonder if they've ever done any blue ice repairs. Seriously. Or, hey, you had that house down in, Naples? Down in Naples, you had an International Space Station part fell off. They're suing, by the way.
They're suing NASA,
Yeah, we'll get into that later on. But this family, they're in the backyard, and a chunk of blue ice falls off an airplane overhead and crashes through their roof. Now, I pulled some audio. You got to hear this.
I don't know where you just hear like a hollow sound coming down. And honestly, we didn't think much of it. And then you just hear a big douche.
Did she say
douche?
She did.
Douche.
It's a very specific sound.
I don't know where you just hear like a hollow sound coming down. And honestly, we didn't think much of it. And then you just hear a big douche. 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 Douche.
Oh.
Douche.
Brought to you by Massengill.
Douche.
Is that the actual sound of the blue ice?
Apparently, that's the noise. I don't know how they got the noise, but they got the noise. Yeah, and they're sitting just right near the impact zone, and they had security footage from the backyard, and it shows the family jumping out of their seats.
Here's the footage.
As the chunk of ice plummets down to earth. So I guess their security camera, it captured the noise. That's the noise of their roof. Their roof has a freaking, like a 2 foot by 2 foot hole in the roof, and it slammed through to the inside their house. My God.
I'm mildly disappointed that the ice is not more blue.
Hang on, hit the unmuter there. Hold on, I'll take control of this. Hang on, I got it. All right, so let me unmute
roll back
this.
a little bit.
I'm going to roll back a little bit. But, man, you never know when blue ice is going to potentially, wreck your house.
And this can happen anywhere.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's play the audio here. See.
Having dinner on the backyard deck.
Boom!
And this is the damage it left behind
Look at
in
this.
their attic. A huge hole several feet wide.
Yes!
You can actually see the neighbor's house through it in the photos they took after they ran inside to see what on earth had happened. What did you think it was?
We don't know. We were shocked.
When we looked over, we thought it was like a piece of an iceberg. That's how big it was.
Probably 300 pounds.
It went through the attic, and then it broke the second floor ceiling.
Whoa!
Paul bought the house here on 38th Street only 4 months ago. He had no idea at the time that, they're living in a flight path. Several of them.
Now we know.
The neighbors stunned too, and what police told the family was a first in this neighborhood that they could remember, though we have had reports of chunks of ice falling from the sky.
They should be able to go back and see what aircraft was over their house at that particular time. Or if I've got blue ice that falls through my house, well, first of all, I'm going to tell Channel 8, Channel 13, Channel 10,
I'm going to have them all over.
And Channel 28. I'm going to tell them it went...
Douche.
That's what I'm going to...
Douche. Douche.
That's what I'm going to tell. No, but seriously, I can go right away to my Flight Radar 24 app, or I can go to my...
Flight Aware?
No, I have Flight Aware, but I primarily use Flight Radar 24. Or I can go to the ADSB exchange. So for all the little sneaky bastards that try to block their N number... I can go to the ADS exchange and I can get their N number. Little sneaky turds that try to block their flight information. Usually, it's not the commercial planes; it's the private flights that, think that they can stop you from looking at flight radar or flight aware, because sometimes you'll see information not available, but on the ADSB exchange, it's there. But for instance, if blue ice fell through my roof, I could then immediately go to my app and see the exact plane that was overhead. Take a screenshot, boom, and that's it. And I hold, United, American, ANA, Lufthansa, whatever airline it was that dropped the blue poop ice right through my roof.
Whoever you can blame the douche on.
What I'm thinking. Hey, did anyone go auto shopping this weekend? This is massive. I've heard from numerous friends of mine in the automotive business, and there is a huge hack. And this story is bigger than just 15,000 auto dealers around the country affected. This is also an important reminder about ransomware and making sure if you're a company that your security is buttoned up. Also making sure that employees don't open email attachments or click on links and this comes down to like training and educating your employees what to look for a phishing scam or someone trying to, worm their way in with, an attack attempt to, have you click on something or have something installed on a computer to allow these nasty hackers into the network. So this massive software company that provides the automotive dealer management system software where they do all the deals, all the calculations, everything. It's like an automobile dealership dashboard, and there are several companies out there that have these automotive dealer management systems. And there's a company called CDK Global. They got hacked, and they've got like 15,000 car dealers around the country that were like shut down. All kinds of stories of dealers having to do deals on paper, no computers. They had to like whip out typewriters to type on. I mean, just insanity.
Like the olden days.
Yeah. So I wanted to get Don, the IT guy, on the phone because this is bigger than just this automobile deal. And I'm telling you right now that there are probably people listening that went car shopping over the weekend or tried to buy a car, and it might have taken longer. Not all dealerships in the Tampa Bay area use this CDK Global. There's another company called Reynolds & Reynolds that's big. But there are people absolutely, because I heard from numerous car dealer friends of mine that were affected. It's like, oh, man, this is a giant hassle. I also heard from some that said, yep, we're not on CDK. We dodged a bullet on this one.
So I'm on their website right now that says trusted by nearly 15,000 dealers.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, not as much trust right now that somebody hacked into the system and crippled 15,000. It ought to say crippled nearly 15,000 dealers nationwide is what it probably should say. All right, I got to get Don, the IT guy, on. Don. Let me call Don because he's got some insight. But also, the story's bigger than just the automobiles. Folks, you got to be aware of these attempts by Russian hackers, Eastern European hackers that are holding businesses. They're holding municipalities. They hold cities hostage.
Yep.
You've got companies that are shelling out tens of millions. Fester, you had a story about something that you know of where, I don't know if you want to say where it was.
I don't, but the owner had his backup.
Right. All right, so hold on. Tell that story while I get Don on the phone.
But one of the things you can do as an owner.
You know a big business
that had a backup of all their files.
But they had hackers got in,
and then
ransomware hackers got in and tried to hold them hostage for how much money? Did you ever hear?
It was a lot of money. It was like in the millions of dollars.
Yep.
And the owner of the company who
will free up your data. You're locked out. You can't do a thing. You got to pay us millions of dollars. We'll unlock your and the owner told them to F off, right?
And if you have the proper IT security, you can do that because you have all of your backups.
It's they clearly got in, but they had a whole new backup system that they were working on.
So in Indiana, a bunch of companies use Indiana because it's like, I guess it's been proven to be like the part of the country that's least likely to have a massive a weather effect or what disaster, but a lot of companies house their information in central Indiana.
Right.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not.
As did this company.
I'm trying to call Don.
So when the ransomware was activated and it affected the system that they were using,
Right.
they were shut out for a couple of days before they could figure out what happened. Then they get the correspondence that says, hey, this is what we're doing to
Right.
you. We're going to keep the pressure on you. We
Your
want.
call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hey, Don, if you're listening, call in. Hang on a minute. Let me text Don here. Well, keep talking here.
No, I thought you texted Don. But anyway, listen, they called the company and spoke to the management, and the management took it to the owner, and the owner told them go to hell.
Yeah.
Well, we got all of our files. They had updates every other day.
So they had a backup, and they had a whole other. Did they have another system, or they quickly built another
What
system?
happened was they deleted the systems and reloaded their operating software,
Right.
and then uploaded the information. It took a week to do, but he didn't have to pay the ransom, and then they tightened up whatever loophole that the hacker got into the first
But that's
time.
great. This is a pretty big company, and the owner told the ransomware, like Russian hackers, shove it up your hard
Screw you.
drive.
Yeah. They didn't get any
Wow.
crazy information on
Yep.
customers. They just got the operating
Right.
system
Yeah.
that put deals together.
Hey, Don, the IT guy, welcome.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so I just tried to call you. Went to voicemail twice.
Yeah, that's call filtering. Sorry.
All right. Hey, can you pick up the regular phone?
I'm on my cell phone, so.
Oh no, but it sounds like you're on speaker.
Oh, nope.
Okay. All right. So I know you wanted to weigh in on this, but the story's a lot bigger than car dealers being crippled across the country. And again, there are dealerships, many in the Tampa Bay area, that have been affected by this, and they've been knocked back into the dark ages in many cases. But Don, it's even bigger than the car dealers, that any business is susceptible to these foreign hackers, these ransomware monsters, if you're not careful.
Definitely. Yeah. CDK is definitely a hot spot for these guys because they're a cloud-based system, right? So all you've got to do is get into their system, and then now you've got access to 15,000 dealers across the country.
All right, and that's CDK Global, one of the companies. So so they got into, the hackers got into their cloud system, and once they were in, they were able to get to every dealership?
CDK shut it down it sounds like they shut it down on Tuesday. So
Right.
they've been down since Tuesday, and they still don't have an update. I mean, they're talking about, the last report I saw, they're wanting to pay out tens of millions for a ransom.
Yeah, so do they know if they're Russian hackers or Eastern European? Have they narrowed that down yet?
I don't think a group has taken credit for it yet.
But they're asking for tens of millions of dollars to unlock this auto dealer info system.
Right, and they think the same group is the one that was behind United Healthcare earlier this year, and they shut down their cloud billing system, and it cost United Healthcare over $800 million.
That's insane. You got to make sure, folks, if you've got an IT company or you have an IT security person, you got to make sure that you guys are buttoned up, because they'll go after small, medium, large, massive businesses and try to hold you hostage and lock you out. It happens to all kinds of folks. And Don, a lot of times the way they get in is through an email to an employee who is fooled and tricked into clicking on something?
Yeah, definitely. That's one way. They also we actually had a customer a couple of years ago. The way that we got the customers, they got hacked, and they came in through just a port on their router that the last company had left open, and they came in and shut down the whole thing, and I think they paid out. They're a smaller company, and they still paid out an $80,000 ransom.
Unbelievable. And did you know any car folks in town that got hit by this?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that got hit, but I have a good friend that works for one of the bigger dealerships, and he was telling me that the number one dealership in the country got hit, and they've been shut down, and everything's been manual. And he actually remarks that they saw their business 3 times this weekend from everybody coming in because they couldn't buy cars from other dealerships.
Holy crap. So one of the largest owners of auto dealerships in the country with Tampa Bay locations, They were a customer of this CDK Global. Their software was shut the hell down. And this friend of yours at a competing dealership, not on this software, they said they saw their sales triple over the weekend?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the other things to note here is it's just not the dealerships. A lot of the big manufacturers use these systems to interface with the dealerships. I read Toyota, Kia, and I think even General Motors. So it's definitely something that this was a big one, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably one of the biggest payouts for ransomware.
All right, so you have to teach your employees, number one, and they do training around here with our company. They even test people. Yeah. They even send out emails where they try to see if you'll click on a phishing deal, which could potentially expose the company and open up the whole network to ransomware hackers. But a lot of times you got to teach your employees what to look for, and you don't click on suspicious links or download attachments if you don't know where the hell they're from. That's number one. And then you were saying another way is to find an open port on a router?
Yeah, so a lot of times your firewalls and stuff, we see, especially smaller companies, they use a firewall or the router provided by the actual ISP, the cable company, and those are the most used in the world. So guess what? The easiest one to hack is. So that's one of our big things is spending the money for a real firewall, because there's bots out there, and all they do is they just send signals out to the different IP addresses, and it's almost like a little knock on the door. And then if the firewall responds, then another bot network starts going after them and tries to find open.
Wow! So you have these bots that just randomly ping hundreds of thousands of IP addresses to see if it can find an open port.
You would be absolutely amazed. Just my home, I have software on my home one, and if you look at the logs, just my home firewall gets pinged thousands of times a week.
Hey, can you test my house to see if you can get into my house?
I would have to get the IP address. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I gave you that, you could.
Most of the time. So one of the things that is good is when most home IP addresses are. They constantly change once a week.
Oh, they're dynamic, not static.
Yeah, exactly. So smaller businesses typically will have a static IP address.
So it's fixed.
And it's once that's found, then it just sits there and gets pounded. Oh. That's why it's so important to have a good firewall.
Don, the IT guy. Don, thank you, buddy. Always great to have you on. Team Logic IT. If you need a great security guy, if you need a great IT guy for your business, they do everything. Point of sale, network, they do everything. Team Logic IT in St. Petersburg, or you can go to dontheitguy.com. Don, I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks. Good to see you guys.
All right.
All right, thanks, Don.
Wow,
that's good to know.
Yeah. Listen, I thought it was important to talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get too much in the weeds on the automotive thing, but I tell you what, I bet you there are, I wonder. Tell you what, I'll try this quickly. Are there any auto sales guys or women, any auto salespeople
driving into work right now? Driving into the dealership?
Yep. Any automotive folks working for car dealers in town, and you're on this CDK Global automotive software management system, and you guys were just screwed to the wall. Tell us what it's like. Having a kick back to the dark ages to do. Apparently, it's like the service departments, it's sales, it's finance, F&I, it's everything. If you're on this software, so if there are any auto salespeople or auto dealership employees that are listening right now, and you are affected, call in. You don't have to use your name. You can be anonymous. You don't have to mention the dealership. So remain completely anonymous. But if anyone wants to weigh in and tell us how bad things are, and this is just a wake-up call to anyone, anywhere, whether it's private or if it's another business, that these ransomware maggots from Russia or Eastern Europe, these are some nasty, nasty piss ants.
And no word on the number yet to free up the system?
the word is tens of millions of dollars. And I heard from another automotive friend that they heard it was up to $100 million to free things up. All right, if any auto dealership employees are listening and your place was hit, again, you can remain anonymous. You don't have to use your name or the dealer. Just want to hear what's going on. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 if you want to weigh in. Don't have to mention your name. Just be anonymous. 800-990-1047 if you want to talk about this. I'll let Andrew see if any calls roll in, see if he screens any. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. I saw another item over the weekend that intrigued me, and like phones are ringing. I got to wait for the delay to finish for people to phone. Oh, yeah.
Are we going to get a bunch of car dealers?
Yeah, maybe so.
A bunch of lot lizards out there smoking on the point, waiting for the next guy to pull in?
Before I move on to Walmart and a big Walmart complaint, not from me, but you know what? I haven't noticed it as bad as this person claims.
All right.
But there's a guy that says that they're done with Walmart and they're going to be shopping at Target because of something that's happening in the aisles at Walmart. All right, hold on. I'm going to get to that in just a second. All right, first, though, let me just grab some. Andrew can't even screen them all.
Yeah, we got.
Hang on a minute. Let me put this one on hold.
Line 2's ready to go.
Yeah. What is ready to go?
Line 2.
All right, line 2. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, is this MJ?
Yeah, it's MJ. Do you want to use your name or no?
Yeah, my name is Pete.
All right, Pete, are you in the automotive business?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you at a dealership affected by this software hack?
Yes, we are, but we do have a backup, and that is a blessing in disguise. But yes, it's very scary that they can shut the whole thing down.
All right, because there are some dealers that are like dead in the water, and they're like going back to the dark ages with typewriters and trying to put deals together. Pete, are you a larger dealer?
Well, we are smaller, pre-owned. If I can name the name without getting a little free plug.
No, you're fine. You can name it. It's fine.
BJ's Auto World, Clearwater, Florida, 3 locations. Serve you better.
All right, and
because
did you say DJs or EJs?
P. No, P is Peter.
PJ's Auto World. All right, so you guys use this software, and when did you guys realize that you guys were locked out?
We found out Tuesday afternoon, and because we specialize in antique and classic cars at 2 of our locations.
Right.
We have a backup system because of the older vehicles. They're not the VIN systems for the newer software doesn't work.
Oh.
So we're still up and running. But yeah, we've heard the nightmares about these bigger stores just being absolutely shut down. It's awful.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, if you need a pre-owned, call DJ's Auto World.
Well, I kind of miss my 1974 Dodge Monaco, the Bluesmobile.
We'll find you one, no problem. What color do you want?
Yeah, well, I would redo it in black and white like the Bluesmobile, but I gave up the metal speaker that I had fabricated by that metal place on Kennedy down by USF. I'd have to redo all that. Anyway, Peter, drop me an email, mj@mjmorningshow.com.
All right. Great show. Thanks.
Hey, thank you for listening. Look, the lines are, let me grab this one here. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Are you in the automobile business?
I used to be.
All right, what do you know about this?
All I want to say is this. I want to be anonymous because there's a lot of people here in Tampa Bay that knows me.
Yep.
They probably recognize my voice.
Okay.
I worked for a dealership for about 14 years.
Yep.
You're right about the dark ages because sometimes when our systems went down, we did have to do everything manually. And unfortunately, some of the younger generations didn't know how to do or balance the house manually. They only knew how to do it on the system. Now, when it comes to the hacking thing, I received a letter in the mail. Now, I've been gone from the automotive business probably about 5 years.
Yep.
But apparently there was some sort of hack. They didn't say in the letter what it was, but it was just very nice about that there was a breach and we could get free counseling and things like from the credit bureaus. So
yeah, well, listen, I got the letter, I got the notification from Frontier that I'm part of the 755,000 that got hacked at Frontier.
Wow.
Yeah, so apparently they have my name, my address, my social security number, and it's probably going to be thrown up on the dark web. And so I got the letter from Frontier because of my FiOS that they were hacked, and they're going to offer me a year's worth of free credit monitoring. I tell you, why don't you offer me the fact that my information is secure and you're not going to let some hacker steal it? That's what I want to hear.
That's what I like to hear also.
Yeah.
And thank you for your show. I love your show and listen to it every day. And unfortunately, with the thing with Mr. Justin, I'm a fan, but, at times we have to pay the piper.
Yeah.
And I don't think the young man who did the arrest was overzealous. I just think that we have to do our job and we have to do the right thing.
Yep.
So and at least he tried to keep Mr. Justin from getting hurt or hurting someone else.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
you.
And thank you for listening every day. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You bet. All right, look at that.
It's affected a lot of people.
There's, the automotive hack, and then she was at the end there. She's talking about Justin Timberlake and the DUI. All right, back to the Walmart deal. What time is it? 8:44. It is 8:44. MJ Morning Show. This is Q105, which is located at 104.7 FM. And we always appreciate you spreading the word that the MJ Morning Show is back here on 104.7 FM. I mentioned Walmart, and I had this happen once, maybe twice. I do remember distinctly, and it's kind of funny because speaking of my internet service, this dude says, this is why I've transitioned to Target. Walmart shopper says he gets attacked within the aisles every single time he goes shopping at Walmart.
How does he get attacked?
I would go on a daily basis to Walmart because it's my favorite store. But now with these guys attacking you in every aisle who want to sell you solar panels, cell service, internet, apparently this person says the Walmart they go to, they walk into the aisle and immediately they're greeted by some solicitor.
Oh,
hey,
vendors?
Yeah, or hey, how you doing today? And they're trying to sell you everything. So looking at the DVD section, like the DVD bin, sometimes they've got the big bin of like $5 DVDs.
Yeah, it's happened to me too. In the middle aisle by the electronics.
Yeah.
Hey, who's your internet provider?
Yeah, so that happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the Walmart. I think I might have been a third world Walmart at 275 in Dale Mabry.
Right.
I think I was there maybe 2 months ago, and I think I went to get some. Energizer lithium AA's for my Shearwater Perdix 2 computer.
Glad they could help.
Yeah, and so I went to, and I got a guy asking me. I'm there to get some freaking batteries, and they stop you. It's like, hey, who's your internet provider? And I think he was selling like Spectrum or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're all there selling.
I'm like, I've got FiOS, I've got Frontier. Well, let me tell you about Spectrum. I said, no thanks. I'm fine with and I used to have Spectrum too. When I was doing my afternoon show on my network of 70 affiliates, and out of my home studio, I had 2 independent internets at my house. I had my Verizon FiOS, which became Frontier. And then I also had Spectrum because I have Spectrum cable. So I had a Spectrum internet line as well because I needed redundancy. So on my network show, if one system went out, I needed to be able to switch to the other one fairly quickly. And that happened a couple of times over the years. But, now that I'm just doing the morning show and I don't need to do a daily show out of my house, I canceled my Spectrum. And all I have is my FiOS. So this guy's trying to, sell me. But I did have a guy in Walmart try to hit me up.
Yeah.
But, also, where that happens? It happens like at Costco.
So at Costco or Sam's Club where I go, as soon as I walk in, there's the cell phone guy.
Yeah.
Hey, who's your cell phone carrier?
I've had him say, hey, what cell phone do you have there? Because a lot of us are just carrying our cell phones. I don't, and they go, hey, what cell phone you got? Hey, what service? And like the AT&T guy is trying to, peel me off of Verizon or, what. Tell you what, if that, who was the dude with Mint Mobile? If that dude was sitting in my Costco, I might talk to him for a few minutes.
There's Ryan Reynolds sitting right there.
Was that him? Was that Ryan?
So.
Yeah.
I talked to him for a couple minutes.
Didn't T-Mobile buy Mint?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
for
they
like
did.
$1 billion.
Yeah. Anyway, so this person is saying that they're sick of being attacked at Walmart and Walmart lets all of these solicitors in?
I guess they get a piece.
I guess they're approved vendors, or
I can't imagine how that would be good for Walmart's bottom line to have their customers be harassed.
Well, this person says that they're going to stop going to Walmart. They're going to go to Target for the very reason.
But I don't know that I've had so many vendors that it's become cumbersome. I mean, there's the phone person or the internet person, but other than that, I haven't seen like somebody trying to sell me aluminum siding.
I think it depends where you are. I think it depends on the location, and I don't think that every single Walmart has the same number of these outside vendors. But hey, it's driving some folks nuts. Early, what time is it? 8:48. All right, let me do this quickly. We're in the national news again, folks. What the Tampa Bay area in the national news because of the shooting death of rapper Julio Folio.
The best rapper name ever.
Julio Folio was gunned down here in Tampa at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn.
Rest in
That's
peace,
on
Julio.
McKinley is right near USF.
Yeah, it's on Fowler and McKinley.
Right, isn't that near like where the Shriners Hospital used to be over there, and then Moffitt? Isn't that over in that area?
That's on the campus of USF. Those facilities.
All right.
But McKinley is north of Busch Gardens. When you turn to go into Busch Gardens parking lot,
between
that's McKinley.
Busch Gardens and Adventure Island, over there.
That's
yeah,
McKinley,
yeah,
but it's on Fowler, so it's north of Busch Gardens. So it's Fowler and McKinley.
Well, something foul happened on Fowler because Florida rapper Julio Folio was shot and killed 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I'll tell you, nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Oh, poor Julio Folio.
Yeah, his real name, he was not born Julio Folio.
No?
No. His birth certificate reads Charles Jones.
Oh, not from a long line of Folios?
And Charles Jones, Julio Folio, was staying at the Holiday Inn in Tampa because he was kicked out of his Airbnb where he was having like some kind of big party. And he exceeded the occupancy, and I guess the Airbnb hosts, they threw him out. I don't know whether the cops were called to eject him. So he ends up at the Holiday Inn over on McKinley and Fowler area, and he ends up getting shot. I mean, this is insane. Yeah, he was partying. He was ambushed, according to his attorney. Louis Fuso said in a statement, and you had 4 people shot. 3 were shot and not killed, and then Julio Folio was shot. Now, Julio Folio, the rapper, he's from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yes.
And then here he's in Tampa. I was just wondering if this is like an East Coast, West Coast, Florida battle going on here. And then we're all over we're all over TMZ, Tampa, near USF, Holiday Inn. So what?
We're all over the Holiday.
Well, seriously.
I know, but
we're making the national news, and Tampa's got a little bit of a run on increased gun violence and people getting shot. And I'll tell you what's just bizarre is Andrew, our producer, pulled some Julio Folio music, and I'll tell you got to hear this. But when we get back, I want to play. This is like foreboding, foretelling. It's like it was like prescient or something. This is weird. Just give me a minute when we get back from the break. So we'll get to that in just a matter of moments. But rest in peace, Julio Folio. I asked Orlando down the hall at our sister station, Wild 94.1.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's, party station, with hip hop and and he says that Julio Folio was not big.
No. I mean, I never heard of Julio Folio before.
It's the best damn name I've ever heard, though.
I mean,
Julio Folio. How does a rapper name get better than that?
I've only heard a couple of his things, and he was.
I'm gonna call you Fester Folio Julio. Yeah, the name's available now.
I mean, he's not using it. He wasn't going to complain.
The dude just turned like 26. His birthday. You got to hear this clip. This is the weirdest clip with what happened. You got to hear the audio bite when we get back in just a minute. Also, remember the Bradenton scooter pirate? Got an update on that. And then, Bill Belichick, the 24-year-old Bill Belichick fling.
Yeah.
Oh, man, there's some activity there.
Good for Bill.
But wait a minute. This young 24-year-old cheerleader who's pretty hot. She's got a rockin' bod, too. And, hooked up now with 72-year-old Bill Belichick. But wait a minute. You got to hear some of her history. So we'll get to that coming up in just a minute. And I'm just looking at all my stuff here. We got a lot to do. Oh, and Starbucks news. If you're a big Starbucks fan, they're feeling the pinch. And we talked about this recently, and I guess they're in a self-correction mode. That's a lot to cover, and we'll get to it all next in minutes. Don't move, and a whole lot more here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. First, let me tell you about... There's also some, new activity in the whole Bill Belichick, the former head coach of the Patriots, the New England Patriots, and his hookup with this 24-year-old former cheerleader. There's a new little twist to this whole matter. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Stand by. Quickly, though, just give me a minute here on Julio Fulio. And you turn on like the 6 o'clock news yesterday, the 11 o'clock news yesterday, and the lead story is like, and rapper Julio Fulio. You hear the news anchors say Julio Fulio. And then, of course, the Tampa Bay area, we're back on the national radar. I mean, TMZ was splashing this all weekend long about Julio Fulio gunned down.
Is he that big a deal?
Listen, he's not... He's not a well-known rapper, but it's not like Tupac or Biggie.
He's not a national act. I mean, he's a regional rapper.
Listen, I just want to say Julio Fulio.
I know.
That's just Julio Fulio. That's a great name. But so he was shot and killed at the Holiday Inn over near USF on McKinley and near, was that Fowler? And 3 others were shot, right? So 3 others are going to survive. Julio Fulio, who just had his 26th birthday. And you got to listen to this excerpt. Here's a little excerpt from one of his rap songs. And it's like, this was like predictive. It's like he's prescient her. His birthday was just the other day. I think his birthday was Friday.
Shot 3 dead in the worst way.
Damn. Look at that. Shot 3 dead. What?
So
that's one of his songs. It's almost like his song played out right after his birthday. What the hell?
This song that we're listening to, according to some rap insiders that I know.
Yes, some rap insiders that you know.
Diss track launched at another rapper called ATK.
Is he Tampa-based?
I'm still figuring out where ATK is from.
We got East Coast, West Coast, man. It's East Coast, Jacksonville, West Coast, Florida, man. We got the East Coast, West Coast, Florida rap wars going on right now.
ATK's brothers were shot and killed. So this is he's taking shots at ATK.
So all I know is that we don't need this crap in Tampa. I don't need a Jacksonville rapper coming to Tampa and then getting Tampa on the national news scene. Then we get 3 dead. In this case, it was 4 shot, 3 injured, 1 dead. But I mean, how freaky are those lyrics and what just happened at 4 o'clock in the morning Sunday?
So we played a little bit of
frig.
Julio Fulio this morning at 6 a.m. I get a text at 6:06.
Julio Fulio.
So it wasn't Julio. He's not texting anybody. But it says the song that MJ's playing is a diss track that Julio made to another rapper, ATK. His 3 brothers were shot, and then he and his 3 brothers were shot. The 3 brothers died. ATK was the only one who made it. So then I asked this loyal MJ Morning Show listener, please tell me that you're an expert on all things Julio Fulio, because we need an expert. And they write back, definitely not. I just know him from that diss track, and the music video went viral for a little while. Julio is always disrespecting the dead. And if I've seen a couple of his videos, and he can't sing a lyric, or I'm sorry, he couldn't sing a lyric without holding his hand in like a gun holding motion to the camera. So he
I got some Elon Musk news we got to get to as well.
Does it involve Elon and Julio Fulio?
No, there's no interaction. No interaction with Elon Musk and Julio Fulio. Although I want to call him Elon Fulio from now on.
It's a good moniker.
Elio Fulio, I don't know. So Elon had another kid?
He has like a dozen.
12.
Now.
Yeah. What? And he's got multiple different. He's just spreading his seed, and he's just like impregnating these women. I think he's got like 12 kids with at least 3 different women.
I know that he named one of his kids after like a bunch of random letters.
Yeah. But what's going to happen here? If Elon Musk is your father, but not present, really, just kind of impregnated the woman. Are these kids like set for life? Do they get like $1 billion? You got Elon Musk is worth like $200 billion, even with all his mistakes and his erratic behavior, and Tesla certainly having some very challenging times these days. But Tesla CEO Elon Musk has confirmed that he welcomed his 3rd child with Neuralink director Siobhan Zillis earlier this year, making the tech mogul a father of at least 12 children. They don't even know. They can't even quantify. I don't even know if we have an official count of how many kids Elon Musk has. $210 billion estimated net worth right now. And half of the kids, at least 6 of the kids were born in the past 5 years.
Yeah, so he's got
children, 3 with Zillis from Neuralink. Yes. And Neuralink is his company that wants to implant chips in people's brains. All right. Then he's got 3 kids with Canadian pop star Grimes and 5 with his ex-wife Justine Wilson. So hold on, that's 5 and 3 is 8. Then another 3 is 11. So wait a minute. Whose kid is the 12th one? Where's who's your mommy? The 12th one. I mean, that's unbelievable. He's just unleashing it all over the place. 12, and are these kids, are they set for life? Do they get trust funds?
All right, when you say set for life,
do the women have to sign like a pre-insemination agreement? Or, I mean, what's the story here? That's
so he
crazy.
Had twins. He had twins before.
Yeah, and then vandals sprayed a whole bunch of cyber trucks here in Florida with F. Elon. Yeah, 34 new Teslas, the cyber trucks, which are just the hideous, grotesque, wedgy chunks of hell.
Yeah, I love them.
Happened to, oh, God, I hate it. Really? You like that thing? Oh, God, it's grotesque. So Fort Lauderdale police got a call late last week, about 8:30 in the morning on Thursday, and somebody reported that the electric vehicles were perfect the night before, but then they were all spray painted, with like words like F Elon and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, at least 12 kids.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize
and counting.
Most of which you could pronounce the name, but he has that one boy.
Yep. All right, are you ready for the latest on Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick? So Bill Belichick, Tom Brady's former head coach when Tom Brady did the bulk of his career with the New England Patriots. And, of course, Bill Belichick was let go. Bill Belichick is 72 years old. Bill Belichick is all hooked up with a 24-year-old, attractive, I mean, she's got a great body on her, former cheerleader. And Belichick, 72, she's 64. And the new twist here is that her ex-boyfriend, before Belichick at 72, her ex-boyfriend was 64.
Man, she knows what she likes. She has a type.
I mean, are there a lot of 20-somethings that are into 70 and 60-year-old guys?
All right, this isn't like a 60-year-old bum, right? This guy was pretty well put together, as far as, financially speaking.
Listen to this. Jordan Hudson's 64-year-old ex-boyfriend is slamming the critics, ridiculing Bill Belichick's relationship with her, 72 and 24. So the 64-year-old, the ex, is coming to Bill Belichick's defense. And her defense for being 24 and now hooked up with a 72-year-old. This guy was just a spring chicken at 64 to Belichick 72.
Was 64 not old enough?
I guess not.
I mean, she wanted somebody well past retirement age?
Tell you what, I'm expecting her to make the moves on Jimmy Carter any day now.
You know what? For his sake, I hope so.
Wake that thing right up.
I hope so.
All right. I want to go to phones on this. It's 9:15. I don't know if we're going to get calls or whether it'll meet my criteria. I'm just curious. Are there folks out there? Do you know of any 60 and 70 plus 70 plus year old men that have 24-year-old girlfriends?
It's got to be a 40 or 50-year age gap.
Come on. Well, does anyone want to weigh in on this? I mean, I don't think it's natural. I don't think it's normal. I mean, is she really? I mean, is it a fetish? Is she into grandpas, or what's the story here?
I mean, that's a full-grown granddaughter.
Does anybody want to weigh in on this? Does anyone know of these kind of interesting relationships? Whether maybe it's you, maybe it's a friend, a relative, somebody you know, up there in age with just a nubile young, just out of college girlfriend. All right, 800-990-1047. Anybody want to check in on this? I don't know what the phones are going to do. We're also late in the show. But if anyone wants to comment on this, if anyone has any insight, I mean, how many 24-year-old women are all jonesing for a 64-year-old or a 72-year-old guy?
Genuinely looking for one.
Or is it money related? Is she digging for gold? Is it the celebrity of Bill Belichick? I mean, what? Now, the former 64-year-old ex,
he's a businessman. That's all they say about him. He wasn't necessarily famous.
Yeah, Joshua L. Zuckerman. They met several years ago, and he's now pushing back at any critic that's attacking this 24-year-old's relationship now with 72-year-old Bill Belichick, six-time Super Bowl head coach, Patriots. All right, if anyone has any thoughts on this, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. I just don't think that 64 and 24 is natural. That is a 40-year difference.
That's the old boyfriend.
Yeah, that's the old one.
Yeah.
And now Belichick is now up to what? 8-year.
48?
48-year difference, plus 8. If anyone has any thoughts on this or any examples, or anyone that has this kind of a spread, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Andrew's screening calls.
Where's Jordan's dad in all this? Why hasn't her father been found out and interviewed?
Yeah. Hey, Jordan's dad, what do you think about Belichick dating a guy probably 20 years older than you?
Yeah, probably.
I'm sorry. Belichick dating a girl, your daughter, probably 20 years older than you.
Her dad probably in the mid-50s maybe.
Yeah. Let me go to phones. I was wondering whether we get calls on this, and, well, we have. All right, Andrew, put Sarah on hold and then grab the other ones. Sarah in Spring Hill. Hi, Sarah, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, what about Anna Nicole Smith?
Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith, she was hooked up with that Paw, and he was in his mid-80s when she was...
All right, he wasn't a mobile, active man. He was a feeble old man about to die.
Yeah, was he in his 80s or 90s?
Yeah, and
Paw.
And she used him for wealth. Does that make sense? I mean, she wasn't attracted to him and in love with him. She wasn't seen out on the town with him.
Hey, Sarah, how old are you?
42.
All right, do you know, or have you ever known anyone that was much older and the woman was just ridiculously young?
Not usually more than 20 years.
All right, but you do know some 20. Like, give me some examples of the 20-year gaps. How old was the guy? How old was the woman?
Like 40 and 60.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, 40, that's not...
I mean, those are well into their adult years.
Yeah, 40 and 60 doesn't, really, set off any alarm bells for me. But listen, we remember the Anna Nicole Smith situation, and wasn't she pushing him around in a wheelchair and feeding him applesauce?
Yeah.
I think she was doing everything she could to push him into his death. And he died with a smile on his face.
I just can't remember how old she was at the time.
Yeah, you know what? Hey,
I have to look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up right now. While we have Sarah on the phone, how old was Anna Nicole Smith and Paw? That was his. Remember, she called him Paw, P-A-W-P-A-W. Anna Nicole Smith, age when married to Paw, old man. Let's see here. Here we go. At the time, she was 26 and he was 89.
There you go. That's what it reminded me of.
J. Howard Marshall.
That's right.
The second.
Yeah, Paw was J. Howard Marshall II.
And then J. Howard Marshall the third sued her after the old man died and left her everything.
In 1994, Anna Nicole Smith married Paw at 26, and he was 89 years old. My God. Anyways, Sarah, thanks for checking in on this. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
You too. Have a great day. All right, 9:20 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, I love the 64-year-old ex of the cheerleader is going to bat for Belichick. Everyone's, hey, all you critics, back off.
Ah, is this what you like?
Back off. What do you get out of bed? Back off. All right, 9:20 at the MJ Morning Show. We have an update next. When we get back in minutes, we got an update on the Bradenton scooter pirate. Got that coming up. And then got another porch pirate story. Folks, you got to be careful. You got to, figure out a way not to have these boxes, these packages sit at your front steps because it's getting really, really bad out there. And I have an example of just how bad the porch pirate activity is getting. You got to hear this. Make sure you don't move. First up, you got to hear this story because this is nuts. When we get back, and a whole lot more. Got a loaded segment in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. You got to hurry up and take advantage of... MJ Morning Show and the final segment.
All summer long, Q105.
That's going to happen around this same time. Well, possibly. Some stuff might be brewing, but that's a whole different story. All right, welcome back to the MJ Morning Show here on a Monday morning. We have kind of a light crew this week. It's just Fester and me.
I mean, you have the heaviest member of the show on a light crew. But yeah, so if you notice some people are not here today, Roxanne apparently has made it to Italy safe and sound. Right?
Well, I don't know.
I haven't heard anything to the contrary.
Well, so hold on. How can you say Roxanne made it to Italy with Dig Dug safe and sound?
I said apparently.
If we haven't heard a thing.
I think we would have heard of,
they could
plane
have been
hitting a mountainside.
They could have been, mugged, in Naples or something, in Napoli. It's kind of, Napoli can be a rough, little town. So I don't know how you can say that Doug and Roxanne made it safely to Italy. We have no indication. We've heard nothing.
So
she could be there and she could not be there potentially.
Yesterday or Friday, she revealed to us, MJ, that she and Dig Dug are making the 3 to 5 hour drive from Rome to Napoli by themselves.
Yeah.
Not taking a train, not taking a chartered bus.
There could be some Italian road bandits.
And they said it's a really hard ride. It could be a very tricky drive. So I hope they're okay.
It's not that tricky of a drive. It's pretty much interstate.
But still, it's...
Yeah, driving from Rome to Napoli.
I'm worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I think we'll be fine. And then Froggy is out this week on vacation, so I might have a couple of surprise guests that stop by during the course of the week.
Ooh.
We shall see. Do you remember? I've got 2 Porch Pirate items here that we got to take care of. First of all, we had the Bradenton police looking for the Porch Pirate on the scooter. He was the scooter driving Porch Pirate, and he had his helmet on with the smoked face mask, and you couldn't see his face. But what did I say? I said that someone's going to catch him. Someone's going to recognize his motor scooter. Someone's going to recognize his walk, his gait. Someone's going to recognize the outline. Yeah, you don't need to see someone's face. If there's surveillance video of a convenience store robbery and they're totally obstructed by a mask or something, there are people that are going to see that video on the news and go, "Oh, that's Jerry."
This didn't even have to go that far.
That's Coolio Fulio Julio. What's his name?
Julio
Julio Fulio.
Rest in peace.
Exactly.
You know, MJ, I know every man that I know that has a scooter, I could tell you right now. For me personally, it's none. But if I know somebody that drives one of those little moped scooters, you know exactly who that is.
Yeah, the Bradenton Police Department said that the porch pirate on the motor scooter has been arrested. They are pretty sure they've got the right guy. 2 packages from separate homes were stolen while the thief just rode up the driveway to their front door on a scooter. We have Skylar Davis, 18 of Palmetto.
Come on, Skylar.
Who was busted. Faces 2 counts of burglary and additional charges. I'm pretty sure someone rolled over on him, recognized him. Oh, yeah, I know the scooter. I know the outline of that body. Yep, you know who that is? Yep, that's Skylar. That's Skylar Davis.
Oh, Skylar Scooter.
Isn't Skylar mostly a girl's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a male Skylar. Most Skylars are typically female. Like Skylar was the wife in Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
So Walter White's wife in Breaking Bad is Skylar.
If you have an overly effeminate name, I don't know that you want to be caught on a scooter.
All right, then this is how bad porch pirates are. Can you imagine the FedEx guy drops off the package, and then you have 2 porch pirates fighting over the same package?
So bad.
What the? I mean, this is up in Pennsylvania. This is in Reading. This was caught on security camera, probably a Ring doorbell. And he got 2 porch pirates are racing to the front door, and they're fighting over the package that the FedEx guy just left seconds earlier. Kevin Lara of Reading put a video on Facebook late last week showing these 2 porch pirates, these dueling thieves, trying to grab a delivery of expensive AT&T cell phones. I don't know whether they were iPhones, Galaxy, Samsungs, Pixels, whatever. Maybe they were some old Nokia flip phones, or maybe, the new BlackBerry.
So there's the FedEx guy. The FedEx guy isn't even to his van yet.
And the 2 porch pirates are running to the scene to rip off the FedEx package. And they're fighting each other. This is insane. In the clip, the FedEx driver can be seen walking up to the driveway, placing the package at the front of Kevin Lara's front door, snaps a photograph of the completed delivery. You know, the delivery guys do that. They'll snap a photo, proof of delivery. In the background, a white car pulls up, according to the video. While the driver is still in the driveway walking back to his van, 2 men, one in a black hoodie, the other in white shorts, suddenly jump out of their cars parked in front of the house at the same time and sprint to grab the package.
They hurdle hedges.
Oh, and then they're fighting each other. They're trying to grab the package out of each other's hands.
So hoodie guy apparently grabs the package, and then the other guy picks up a flower pot to kind of hit him on the head with it. This is incredible. Now, is any of this FedEx's fault? I mean, are they just going to? I mean,
how is it FedEx's fault?
FedEx
is delivering the package during normal delivery hours. It's not FedEx's fault.
So you have to call the person who originally sent it and said a porch pirate stole it?
Typically on high-value deliveries, there might be a signature required. I don't think there was in this particular case. Holy crap. They're fighting each other. This is how bad the porch pirate problem is. That you got 2 pirates that are following the FedEx guy to someone's door, and then they race to see who can grab it first, and then they get into a fight over, that's mine. I'm the porch pirate of record here. No, I'm the porch pirate of record here.
My package, stand back.
What the?
All right.
Unbelievable. We mentioned this earlier, that Florida family down in Naples, they had their house impacted by a piece of the International Space Station back on March 8th. This huge chunk of metal from outer space, from the ISS, hit their house. And they were able to pinpoint it that the ISS was over. You know, you can go online and you can track where the International Space Station is in orbit and over what part of the country, what part of the world. And they determined that it was over their house, and this piece of metal just fell off, and it goes through their roof. It almost hit their son. It would have killed them.
Yeah, it would have.
It went through the roof, through the second floor, through the second floor, through the ceiling to the first floor. I mean, this caused some serious damage. It was a stanchion, piece of equipment, a metal chunk used to mount the ISS batteries on a cargo pallet. And the stanchion did not burn up upon re-entry. It re-entered.
Dirty stanchion.
Yeah, I would say so. And a lawsuit has been filed against NASA by the family whose house was hit. Yeah, the cylindrical object tore through the home in Naples on March 8th, was subsequently taken to the Kennedy Space Station at Cape Canaveral for analysis. NASA later confirmed that the object was a metal support used to mount old batteries on a cargo pallet for disposal. Yeah, a statement from the law firm Cranfield Sumner said they have submitted a claim to NASA to recover for damages resulting from a space debris incident involving property owner Alejandro Otero and his family.
I mean, are they just looking for the roof repairs made, or are they looking for a whole stack of cash?
Well, listen, I think that their son was pretty rattled. They ought to at least get a NASA baseball cap.
I mean, something
out of the deal, yeah.
A $200 gift certificate to the gift shop.
A T-shirt.
Yeah.
A piece of the International Space Station crashed through my ceiling, almost killed me, and all I got was this lousy NASA T-shirt. I think you can fit that on the front of a shirt, right?
That'd be pretty cool. It'd be one of a kind.
Yeah. The homeowner, the dad, Alejandro, he told Wink News down in Fort Myers that he was on vacation. His son told him what happened. Otero came home early to check the house, find the object ripped through the ceiling, tore up flooring. I was shaking. I was completely in disbelief. What are the chances of something landing on my house with such force? Well, earlier today, we had the blue ice that ripped through somebody's roof in Paterson, New Jersey. Flight in and out of Newark Liberty, apparently.
How many of these things fall and actually land into, like, the ocean? We never even know.
Well, listen, the Earth is covered by what? About 75% water, or, the ocean. So, the odds are a lot of stuff does hit. But we have objects, debris, it does fall and hit occasionally. But a lot of things either burn up or they fall in the ocean.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of things, because of the friction and the re-entering of the atmosphere, they get torched. They burn up. It's like most, meteors. Burn up. Yeah, so they're suing. So we'll see what actually
good for them
happens with this particular family. A couple of celebrity things before we get out of here. Oh, I had the Starbucks story. Let me do that. There's a big warning to Starbucks. Starbucks is starting to see sales drop. Do you remember we had the story last week that people, was it last week or the week before?
About the wait times?
Yeah, that some people are waiting like 15 to 45 minutes for their order. Who the hell? I mean, you're already paying too much for a cup of coffee or some kind of flappa-dappa dinga-winga, frozen frappe, jalopy, whatever it is.
The frozen dinga-winga is really good. You're right.
So you're already paying an arm and a leg for these juiced-up drinks, right? And people have to wait sometimes 15, 30, 45 minutes. We had a story about this, that people were getting angry and getting fed up. And what did I say? I said it's going to affect sales. Sales are going to drop, and guess what? Starbucks has been warned, you better start reducing the customer wait times because sales are starting to get hit. They're starting to get a sales dip because of some of the waits. And a lot of this was attributed to that Starbucks was cutting back on labor costs by reducing staff, all the while that you have a more complicated drink menu where it's taking longer and the drinks are more complicated, more steps.
So who's warning Starbucks? Are they warning them? Is like corporate warning the franchisees, or is it customers? We're warning you.
It's coming from customers. It's coming from industry analysts in the fast food and the fast casual, the sector that, looks at these kind of stocks. So, you've got numerous individuals.
Step up, Starbucks.
Yep. Here's one, Neil Saunders, Managing Director of Global Data. There are gripes about wait times. There's many Starbucks customers feels like it's not quite as special as it used to be. So, here's an analyst that's saying, hey, get your act together. But the complaints are coming from a lot of different areas. So that's problematic. You cut back on staff. Places are firing people all over the place, and, quality could suffer.
If I want a frappa crappa mocha choca, I want it right now.
Yeah, frappa check. What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah. A couple of Hollywood things. I saw that a lot of folks are going to see Travis. A lot of folks are going to see Taylor Swift.
She's in the UK right now.
And then Travis Kelce. He popped up on stage at the UK, right?
Well, they're traveling together, and she brought him on stage.
Okay, yeah. So Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs goes on stage while the Era's Taylor Swift tour is continuing. And then Tom Cruise.
He went on stage.
Tom Cruise didn't go on stage. Tom Cruise was, I guess, at the London show. Tom Cruise skipped the graduation of his daughter, Suri Cruise. I think they have a really bad relationship.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise went to the Taylor Swift concert in the UK. And I guess he was seen with Travis Kelce, or some picture was taken. And then there's a photo of Prince William.
Yes.
At some point, he's going to be King William. Yeah. There's a picture of Prince William and his kids. And George, Prince George, he's going to be king as well. Once King Charles passes, then it goes to King William. And then when King William passes, it's going to the little squirt.
It's really just a waiting game for people to die.
Oh, it is, absolutely. But and then you have the picture. So all these celebrities, listen, I've got no desire to see Taylor Swift at any of these concerts. I mentioned first thing this morning that there's a report that Vanna White might quit Wheel of Fortune because she doesn't jibe with Ryan Seacrest. Yeah, this is a Page 6 report.
Is this really shocking news?
Page 6 is quoting the Daily Mail that some insider is saying that Vanna White, who's been turning letters since 1982, is having a hard time thinking about doing it without Sajak, and that her contract goes through 2026. But there's an insider that claims that part of her wants to walk away now, that there just doesn't seem to be a chemistry between her and Ryan Seacrest.
Nobody would shed a tear if it's a whole new show with a new host.
Anything else we got? I got more, but we'll just do it tomorrow. I don't want to short shrift and rush stuff.
All right.
I think that's going to do it. I think it's going to do it for the Monday show. It's been the MJ and Fester edition because Roxanne's in Italy and Froggy's at
He's on the beach.
Reddington Shores.
Yeah.
All right, 9:45 at the MJ Morning Show. We've got Asia tickets to give away. Would you like to go see Asia? Heat of the Moment? That was their biggest song. So Asia is going to be at the Hard Rock at the Events Center on July 22nd. So Asia, Hard Rock, July 22nd. We'll give away a pair of tickets right now to caller 30, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Caller 30 right now for Asia tickets at the Hard Rock in July. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and let's be careful out there.